Welcome back to some D&D on a Saturday afternoon. For some of us, it is Saturday evening. For the audience, it may be Saturday morning. It's actually not true. We don't have anybody from that time zone. But we return back to Saturday with the Ironheart Merchant Company at Session 55, A Calm Before the Blizzard. The year 65,007, the month of the first moon, and the day of the 33rd, starting around mid-morning. But we'll come back in a moment of that. Firstly, last time we left off during the session of the sword or the shield, currently airing in the background. The party being just Syndra and James for the time, as Rolliman found himself training on the ship, and Melvin found himself off investigating his own side quests, as he does most of this story. However, don't worry, he'll be back at the end to bop the big bad guy on the head when Rolliman gets inevitably crit confirmed somehow and loses his head. But with James and Syndra being the only two there, James decided to head in and meet with Magriel, while Syndra, after a little bit of investigating and meeting a unique individual and making a quick deal with them, found herself following shortly after James to go and speak with Magriel himself, finding out that that Magriel knew a lot more than he had let on. But as the two parties began to show their bits of information, a few realizations began to come to light, as Syndra realized with her corkboard. As that being the case, the party then spent the rest of their session heading back to the ship, taking a moment of checking on the crew, meeting with Stan, and planning for their next move as they awaited the two letters that were really pending. And that's really all we got up to. I mean, it was kind of a light session, shockingly, for what really happened. A lot of intricate lore. For those who have not watched it, please feel free to go back and check it out. But as we return back, about 4 days after the last session, the party has been relaxing, spending some time amongst the ship, enjoying themselves as they typically do. And, as always, we find themselves coming back to around mid-morning as James is delivered a letter by the courier that reads as follows. Dear clan leaders and representatives, I understand the world has become a more volatile and shifting place. We, as the strong snowbeards we are, those who hold up the honor and pride of our people, should be called upon to defend and protect the weak and one another from the oncoming storm. I declare this day, with a disjointed realm split between the houses, a call to the table, a discussion and declaration are needed, and a king we can rely on regardless of vendettas or blood. A new king must be declared, and I, for one, wish for it to be through the honor and right, rather than blood and coin as we have been doing. None shall be turned away, and all candidates that have another backer may stand forth to take the throne. We, as a council of those not nominated, will decide how our new king will be crowned and honor the decision. Whomever will become king will hear the council's wants and give a pact as a promise to defend the lands of all snowbeards, regardless of personal or political views. To those who refuse to join, let your house or clan be known as no more than cowards, no longer recognized as the noble house of the council of clan leaders, and recognize your lands, families, and all properties will be seized by the House of Stronghelm and given to the people as compensation for your failure to act as an honorable Snowbeard noble. Signed, Magriel, the undefeated of House Stronghelm. A truly terrifying declaration. However, James would not be the only one to receive a letter as the three of you are sitting around enjoying your breakfast. As just as soon as the courier walks away from the ship after delivering Stronghelm's letter for James to read, kind of murmuring over it as he does, letting Rolliman and Syndra kind of look and see it, read over it themselves, does a secondary courier come. One bearing a strange banner of his own, a small red cat on a blackened spider upon his chest. The young man looking elvish in appearance, though his skin slightly more pink, seemingly and quietly seems to walk up while you are all reading over the letter and set down another letter with the symbol of Jakix, his own sigil, arced on wax, sealing it, setting it in front of Syndra, as the courtier kind of bows and excuses himself almost immediately. We return back as you lot sit at the table, enjoying what looks to be a decent helping of some sort of thick meatloaf like meat or burrito like meatloaf burrito breakfast. There we go. As well as a hearty stew of vegetables. As you lot begin to kind of enjoy your breakfast and look over these letters themselves, what would you lot like to do?
Well, we have this. I do want to do a few jobs before we leave here. Given the information we've gained, the salamanders certainly first on the list. That way we can get some forges for our own use for while traveling and to place in the stronghold we're keeping.
All right,
Fair
then.
enough.
After that, I do believe you had an interest in the. Well, I did look into the one that you asked me to look into, Syndra. Still not used to that. The noble lady is offering her entire house, essentially.
I mean, at that point, we may as well.
And an old helmet that has an immense amount of magic in it.
I think I figured out what the creature is, kind of. Some kind of magic using ogre.
As for the Forsaken Ghosts attacking the gold dragon nearby, James will rub his head a little bit and sigh, they're trying to get famous fast and pissed it off, and it was peaceful.
Okay, so normal adventure dilemma.
Well, they seem to be. Well, yes, maybe they're trying to found a noble house, but dealing with them is something we might want to do, because if the dragon was peaceful and was being left alone by every other large house and clan nearby, there's a reason for it.
We can figure it out later if we're doing the salamanders first. Do you have any
We
prep you need to do? Or
I'm pretty well set up, I do believe.
Do you have the information we need that we can obtain about these salamanders?
Yes. So, there's roughly 10 of them, with 3 being nobles. And they're living around a large hunting lodge that's atop some natural hot springs that seem to let out a divine aura.
Okay.
However, they're not near each other, because apparently they're very territorial, so they're split up in that area.
Is there anyone that lives in the hunting cabin?
I wasn't told there was.
Should be ready in case there might be something worse inside there for some reason. Trying to avoid it as we deal with each of them. So are we thinking of dealing with them separately, each, if they're each territorial?
That is the general plan, yes. That way we can gain the reward from. You remember the pseudo Smith, the Master of Fire, right? When we were over there?
You say that again?
The Pseudo-Troll's Master of Fire.
Pseudo-Troll's Master of Fire.
The Smith that was over there, that was well known?
Yeah, sure.
You can roll a sense motive, but you get the sense that Rollman does not.
You've the eternal flame of flame. Ringing any bells here, Rollman?
Does it ring any bells?
Rollman, give me an intelligence check.
All right.
Please roll low. Please.
Please, this is just funny.
That's horrible. Do not encourage the bad rolls of your teammate.
17.
Um,
Damn you.
so when you lied, I believe you went to the pseudo troll lands for a bit, right? I think you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you went there. Because that was
territories.
yeah, because that was when you were dealing with the yeah. So when you were in the territories, there was a notable noble named Juve the Eternal Flame, basically a very one of the powerful faction leaders of the pseudo trolls, and one of the individuals was said to have been killed during the war with the Thrycreen. You lot didn't meet him directly, but James spoke with him one time when James was doing some shopping for some items and ran into his shop. I think, if I remember correctly, Rolaman and I think it was Nar at the time stayed outside.
It
Or it
was
might have been Essa. Yeah, it might have been Essa. Because I think Essa was still with you.
Yeah, that's so long ago.
This would have been around the same time that you lot ran into Alfred Stone the first time, roughly.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I recall now, yes. Aren't they dead?
Apparently not. They posted up this quest.
That's concerning.
Well,
Okay.
given how many trolls Seji and his people managed to get out, it's impressive.
Guess we just a fake one. Did you meet with this person in person?
No,
James did spend some downtime going shop to shop because he's an asshole to the DM, and meeting each of the shopkeepers. Yes, James has met him and got to speak with him. He runs the shop. Let me pull it up here real quick. I think no, that's give me a second. Oh, here it is. The Master's Forge and Rest. Which is basically a what James would know as a merchant and mercenary kind of guild of sorts. Basically works as half of a forge, large market district, and as a full inn to stay in.
yes, I've met with him, and seems to be the same fellow.
Alright then. Well, if that's everything, we should probably be on our way.
Sindra, are you ready?
Yes.
Sindra kind of looks over the note for a moment, I imagine, and then puts it away quite quickly.
Yep.
Oh, that reminds me, before you lot move, that does, as I forgot to mention this for downtime, Sindra, as James spent his downtime kind of going amongst the shops, researching and meeting with the locals, kind of finding out about the bits and bobs here about what was selling and what wasn't. Of course, as usual, finding out most things are expensive in the city, but James was kind of expecting that for the most part.
I was told to cheapen the goods.
Yes, Sindra, you had done something different that does take mentioning, as you did spend your downtime not only taking out a quest for the Angry Ports, but on top of that, you never did mention if you were going to claim the item, and you said you were going to decide by session. Did you plan to send a courier from the Stan Standerson crew, or are you planning to make a decision when you return?
I'm gonna send a courier saying that I'll take the item and I'll come get it when I get back from the quest.
Okay, cool. As you had a signal for one of the Stan Sanderson couriers kind of take the message and head off for you. All right. As you kind of see the courier run off, finishing up the last of your breakfast as you do, the crew down below seemingly finishing up theirs as they begin to switch the shift for those who were part of the night crew to those who are part of the day crew. As many of the men start to kind of head up, those who are heading down below beginning to start their dinner and beginning to head to bed or relax as they do. Some of the men kind of greet you. Unfortunately, the rough bloods are not amongst them as they seem to be down below getting ready to put themselves to sleep. But as you a lot begin to kind of gather around the wheel, who's driving and where are you heading, James?
Well, we have the map to get to the hot springs.
It's true.
So,
Okay, perfect.
We'll be sitting right there.
Okay, and then who's driving?
Look
I
to
drive.
look to the the guy who's driven the boat the most.
All right, Rollman, give me a use magic device with a +4.
Okay.
Since you've gotten some good experience at this point with this thing. This isn't to see if you crash. I mean, this is more just to see how rough your exit of this rather large skull you're going out of.
9.
Alright, as you begin to pull the ship up, beginning to move it forward, it seems to kind of turn its nose up a little bit as the crew seems to find the footing a little more challenging. James and Syndra, please give me a balance check to see if you manage to keep your feet.
You're still making the people that have bad balance checks make balance checks, huh?
It's not a personal thing. I do this whenever it makes sense, and when you roll under 10...
I have a 4.
James immediately, and surprise on his face, is on his butt as he falls back. Syndra?
I can suction cup to the floor, but I still have to make checks. Well, yeah, screw you.
There you go.
There you go. 23. Managing to keep your feet as you catch yourself as Roman kind of tilts too hard upwards, the ship kind of pivoting. James falling on his butt as he kind of clamps his hands down onto the ship to hold himself in place as the ship begins to lurch forward. It's going to take a little bit of movement. As you lot head out, it'll be about an hour of flight just to get outside of the city and get through the Skull's Eye. Roughly from what you can see on the map and where the location is, it's going to take you about 2 weeks roughly to get there, even by airship. From what you can tell, James, looking down at the map as you kind of re-steady yourself as Roman kind of relevels out the ship as he gets out of the large giant's eye.
That's not too bad. Gives us time to stockpile tools so that when we come back, we can sell them off for a lot cheaper.
Okay. As you lot kind of begin to head out, you can note that in the background, either in your PMs or in your notepads, whatever you guys use to take notes. You will have 2 weeks of downtime that you can use to do whatever you wish with after the session, of course. Unless you already have your feats that you want to roll your DCs, you can do that in the background real quick if you'd like to do that live. That's your choice, though. However, as the DM wasn't told what quest we were going on, I didn't have this planned out ahead of time, so I do apologize. But as you lot begin to head over the next 2 weeks, it is cold, rainy, and wet pretty much everywhere, and the snow does not help as it is thick as all hell. Give me a search or spot or listen check. I will take one of the 3 from each of you as the 2 weeks go on.
So you're best at listen, Rollman, you're best at search. I guess I'm doing spot.
Yeah, I know. Does the DM get to break out his storm giants today? 25 for Syndra, alright.
11 for James.
11 for James and a 12 for Rollman. Okay. What would roughly... actually, no. Assumedly, as you lot kind of begin your journey over the next 2 weeks, the heavy snow and blizzard-like temperatures, it is below freezing almost everywhere outside, and up in the clouds, it is even colder as snow seems to accumulate on the ship in bucket loads. Having the crew actively going up and literally shoveling the snow off the top of the ship, trying to keep the ropes from fraying or freezing over as they kind of wax them over with thick oil, kind of working at them the best they can. The crew is not having a good time, but as you lot keep your eyes open, watching, listening, and looking for anything that could pop up on the horizon. Starting with Syndra with Listen Check. It's strange, Syndra. You can hear almost a singing kind of coming on the skies. Do you speak Giant by chance?
I do.
You hear the guttural singing of something along the lines of what sounds like a almost cult-like chanting to it, saying, "Blood and guts, that's what makes us strong. Heads of the weak, toes of the strong. Cut down their ships and take what they have." As they continue singing this over and over again, as you hear this in not close by, but it sounds within, or with the way sound seems to carry up here, it seems like they could be within a couple miles of you lot, or they could be right next door. The thickness of the clouds is almost impossible to see through. James, we'll go with you next with an 11. James, as you look about watching the sky, you're concerned from your captain's quarters as you look through the many windows on all sides, kind of looking out into on the back of the ship, on the sides, as you hearing even the deep thrumming that sounds and the sounds of drums like that almost give the roar of thunder every few moments. It's not comforting, as every time you start to settle in to writing or working on something, someone thumps this thing and the sound of thunder roars, catching you, not necessarily making you jump, but not necessarily putting your
Storm
nerves
giants.
at ease. But sadly, nothing catches your eye as you look out watching. Roloman, looking about as you keep your eyes out for storm giants specifically, or any enemy airships. The clouds are thick, but you can see every once in a while, about half a mile behind you, seemingly it looks like something seems to keep poking out of the cloud line, and just enough as you kind of try to bring the ship above the clouds and out of the snowy blizzard. Unfortunately, the heavy gusts of wind seemingly pulling the ship back down. See, as you kind of watch on, it looks like there might be one, maybe, it's hard to tell, maybe two, but otherwise nothing catches your attention. It's hard to tell the size of the ship, or really if it's a ship at all, or just some sort of piece of wood that's floating in the sky.
That'd be really weird if it was just a random piece of wood floating in the sky.
Well, it also has a small banner on it, but it looks to be just simply a black coloration, so it's kind of hard to tell if it means anything. You know, maybe it's just a stick with a piece of cloth.
Maybe it's just a snake on a stick just hanging out.
Yeah, so it's actually someone's kite.
As James looks out, like hopeful positivity on his face as he looks at, goes, could be. As you can see the concern on his face.
Look,
We don't have any.
I'll walk over.
We have cannons and ballistas.
We don't have any cloaking technology, do we? Either?
No.
Man's looking for some Stellaris.
I have a list of everything we can do, and they can't hit us as easy.
I look at James. There's like, do kites sing about blood and guts making people strong? I've never seen a kite before.
Man the cannons.
The giants
I'll give out. Everyone put on their safety ropes. That way, if they get flung off the ship, they don't fall to their death.
I'm getting up to my sniping den.
All right, give me a diplomacy let's do a diplomacy check from Rollman just to see how far this carries into the ship. How many people hear the tie?
Same thing.
Well, you gave them the order to go to the cannon, so that's what they're following first. That's all the reason I'm having him roll for it. Let's see. As James gives the shout, Rollman shouting over the sounds of the heavy wind and snow as he calls out for the men to tie themselves off. Seeing many beginning to do so, the ship comes to life quickly. The crew from the night crew seemingly immediately heading down to the cannons and arming them as they're fed soup and what looks to be some dark liquid of some sort of coffee, as you see the last of the coffee reserve pulled out by good old catfish chef. Yep. This was
the emergency.
Yep. Getting the men awake and getting them moving as he starts handing it out. Hot water beginning to be made as the crew begins to pull it up above and begins to freeze over the top deck, icing it on purpose. Most of the crew begins to head below that are not set on either the cannons or the ropes as they get themselves ready.
I guess I'm gonna be stationed up by Rollman.
All right.
Yeah, I probably should tie myself off too, just to be safe.
Yeah.
No, you'll be
Tying,
fine.
yeah,
What do you
everyone
mean?
includes you
Yes.
and me and
y-
Syndra if they want to.
You'll be
Cinder's
fine.
not in a feather fall thing.
I'm in the feather falling crow's nest. Yeah, and I can fly.
Yeah.
They are safer than anybody.
Whew, alright. Okay.
Rope.
Give me a second. I'm just setting up something real quick. So I can note how much HP everyone has. Alright.
I'm not good at tying myself off.
James, you don't have to worry, as you have men that do that now, as they were trained by Rollman to assist. As they rush in to help out with pulling up, grabbing some of the rope and beginning to tie James down. Let me roll that. I've got my... what was my modifier real quick? That is a 20, James, so you are fine. Shockingly. As the men tie you down. Hey, it helps. It helps. Give me one moment. I'm just pulling up a note for myself.
Now when he fails his balance check, he's not going to go off the side of the ship.
It's true. Aren't you happy about that, James?
Very.
Oh man, it'll be fantastic. Alright, let me just pull up my last bit of note here. Cool. Perfect. Alright, so as you begin pulling forward, Rollman, are you going to try to slow down to engage, or are you going to try and speed up to get away from them?
I mean, the more prep time we have, the better, right?
Yeah, true. Alright. Then with that, give me another use magic device check, please.
Okay.
Let's hope
So
the
it's +1?
dice... Yep. Let's hope the dice do not betray you.
Yeah. I did not.
Oh, there we go. As you begin speeding up. What is the movement for your ship again, James?
War.
No, it's an East Indian man.
East Indiaman, sorry.
Yeah.
And a war.
Because the only person who's got a mana war right now is Captain Azurus amongst the crews.
Plus, our thing is under permanent haste, so it has doubled. I do believe. Check that. But
A captain who doesn't know his own ship like the back of his hand.
This is the first ship combat.
That's true.
yeah,
Well, first ship combat in a while, yeah. Alright, if you have normal speed, that works for me. Let me, I'll double check my note here. That should put you with a 2. I actually have to scroll up because I don't have this information off the top of my head, but always good to pull off. Believe it or not, this DM doesn't usually plan these combats. Where is my movement speed levels? There we go.
Here's the East Indiaman. We have a movement speed for ships off of the Naval Codex of 2.
Yes.
With the, and then with the lightning immunity thing, that would double that to a 4 because of the because of our front figure.
It's 6. Okay, so it'd be miles. Okay, so 4 miles. All right, perfect. Cool. With that in mind, all right. As the ships begin to move, the airship begins to almost double its speed, quickening its pace as fast as it can, moving up to 8 miles without issues as the ship begins to charge forth. All right. As your ship moves forward, the crew, or the other ship seems to begin to take chase as you watch, not even hiding it now as the clouds begin to separate, and the crew of the other 2 ships, as you look on, begin to rise higher and try to seemingly get above you all. So anything you would like to do? We are not in initiative yet.
Are they within cannon range?
Let me double check. What's up, Cinder?
I was asking if I could see the tops of their ships, see who's on the ships.
You can, and cannon range on that would be about 600 feet, roughly. Yes, Or sorry, 725 feet. Not yet, but they are getting closer.
I'll say once they're within range, unleash the fireballs and vitriolic spheres.
Okay.
So
Yes, as you look on Syndra, you can see the banners, and you do see what looks to be a crew of storm giants. What looked with their axes and leather and metal armor glimmering in the sunlight above. Looking up, you do not recognize, or you see a banner that doesn't look immediately familiar from any of the ones inside the collective of Pyrus book. You can go ahead and give me a knowledge, nobility, or history if you'd like. See what things are.
how well do I know the nobility? We're gonna find the fuck out. What's that? This one not. 24.
24. This you recognize as one of the more notorious raiding crews known as Old Stonebeard. Named that for his affinity for attacking Snowbeard strongholds and Snowbeard ships. His crew specifically specializes in capturing nobles as well as killing off crews of large numbers, usually numbering roughly about 10 to 15. However, only about 4 to 5 of them are supposedly actual fighting men. By that themselves, they are almost capable, though, supposedly of taking cities by them by them with this small crew. But there we go.
Give me some info, Syndra. What you got?
They're specialists in killing Snowbeard ships. They think we're Snowbeard manned.
Well, we're not.
So, with my spell range of 1,080 feet, I want to shoot at whoever's steering one.
All right, go ahead and give me an attack. Let's see what you got.
It is a save.
Oh.
Or is it just hit? Great magical hailstones poured down for 100. 3d6 bludgeoning to it. Is it just hit?
What's the name of the spell?
It's Ice Storm.
Ice Storm.
It says no save, and it doesn't tell me to roll to hit.
Saving throw, none. Spell resistance. Yes, that's because it's a spell resistance. It's also an area effect. Yeah, it's because it's AoE. Let's see. 3d6 of bludgeoning. 2d6 to every creature. Yeah, you're focusing an area. That's why.
Yep.
So that's yep. All right, go ahead and roll spell resistance, please.
Of course, I have a +8. That'll be a 20.
All right, well that's a success.
Fuck this guy.
That's fucked up. That is.
What do you do?
I know, right?
He's attacking us. What do you mean? What did he do?
He
Pirates!
just wants to, no, he just wants to say hi.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly.
Just wants to say hi.
Singing about blood and guts, you know, there's many others.
It's a very jolly song.
17 for, and that is for the bludgeoning, I assume, or is that both?
The first 3 are bludgeoning, so 10 bludgeoning and 7 cold.
All right. So as you watch the hail begin to come down, bouncing off the men on the ship, kind of who seem to turn their bodies towards you, the hail seems to bounce off without seemingly any annoyance or effect, as the creatures seem unfazed.
Okay, so they're not real, so I look to the other ship.
All right. As you look to the other ship. All right. Anybody else other than Syndra looking to do something?
I'll tell them to follow Syndra's firing line because
Okay.
it seems like the best bet.
All right.
For them going above us, what advantage does that give them for being higher?
Give me a profession mercenary check. I will note for your own intelligence and experience, the last time you were attacked by storm giants, they did get above you and drop down onto your airship.
Okay.
But go ahead and roll.
19.
19. From what you can tell, looking at their, judging by their ships, they don't seem to have any cannons, and it doesn't look like they have any grappling hooks of any sorts that they're getting ready. Noticing them going above you, your guesstimation is it's not an advantage. They have no other way of fighting you besides basically landing on top of you.
Oh, okay. I will try and gain altitude so they can't do that.
Alright, as you start raising the ship up even further. Okay. As the ship continues going up, James, is there anything about you want to do?
There isn't much I can do. I don't have the range to hit them, and I've given the orders I could.
Okay. As Rollman begins to steer the ship upwards, Rollman, give me a use magic device. James, give me another balance check.
Hold on to your butt.
I'll make it a little bit better
14.
as well. 14, okay. You give me a second balance check as well for the crew. That one, no modifier. Oh, well, James is sitting again. At this point, he's just got chairs that he drags around with him anywhere he goes.
The crew is fucking fine.
The crew safety rope holds strong, keeping them taut. Syndra, also give me a balance check if you wouldn't mind. As you see or as you feel the ship tilting upwards once more.
Go.
Nice. All right. As you begin to holding your own on one of the rails, keeping yourself from falling over, as Roland begins to steer the ship, quickly turning it upwards, as the crew's safety ropes kind of keep them in place as they hold on, aiming their cannons the best they can. However, as the enemy ship seemingly refusing to come within range, stay at a distance. Rollman begins to gain altitude as the other ships seem to follow short, continuing to copy similar. They do not seem to let on. Are you just going to keep rising, Rollman, until they stop?
What's the highest altitude we can go to safely?
You know
Or...
that is a good question. I don't actually have an answer for that. It's the safest or highest a human can go without an I think it's an altitude mask.
20,000 feet.
Is it? It's 62,000 feet, 63,000 for those who are a little bit more capable. All right, good to know. Did not know that. So roughly, I would say no. You're not anywhere close to that yet. You've got a pretty good distance from what you can tell. Getting above the cloud lines that are closer through, you're just basically fluttering through the very thick clouds.
Okay, well, I'll keep rising then.
Okay. All right, as he does, James continuing to watch, steadying his crew to hold aim until they've got a clear shot. Syndra, anything else you'd like to try?
Not yet.
Okay. As the ships are continuing, I'm going to roll something real quick. The two airships, after another about hour or half an hour of this continuing, finally stop turning and peeling away as they turn back, heading towards the direction of Rune's Hold, seemingly losing interest as your airship kind of continues to rise. The crew of Storm Giants shouting and calling you all cravens and weaklings in Giant as they turn their ships away.
I'm gonna leave the insults back to Rollman, because last time I insulted something that big, it tried to squash me.
As you watch...
You said they're going towards Runesold?
Yeah, that direction, yes. They are turning back.
So the sand I left for Whispering Sand on Hunter, or not on...
with Magrill?
With Magrill. I'm just gonna warn him that there's two giant pirate vessels coming in the direction that specialize in snowbeard killing.
Okay. Alright. As you kind of go to whisper this, activating the spell, you hear on the other side, what the... Why is the Syndra? What?
Yes. Yep.
I listened and hearing what you about the raiding party, and seems to kind of give an understanding as he goes, I appreciate that information. Did not know the sand would go in my ear. That would have been nice to know how that
You know-
spell worked.
It's not supposed to. It's supposed to float outside your ear.
Maybe that was the jumping, as he kind of, as you can hear a sigh as he kind of digs into his ear, as as the spell cancels out.
Alright, well, they should be fun.
All right.
Alright.
I tell everyone to still be ready, just in case there's some illusions or whatever.
I'll keep my ears open.
And not full of sand.
Yep. Lucky me.
I will stop gaining altitude, but we'll stay where we are.
Stay where you're at. Okay. All right. As you start to kind of even out and begin to head or continue heading through the very thick, dark clouds, the snow up here is even colder. Hail coming down all around. It's icy and frigid from the winds. It is unpleasant, Rollman, as the wind and snow blows with a vengeance, hitting in the worst places as the ice pricks at your skin. James,
My warm weather clothes, or cold weather clothes, sorry.
As Roman quickly shifts his clothes from his ring as the clothes immediately change, feeling the warmth of the wool and feeling the hood covering the back of your head as the ice seems to stop pattering and smacking against it. Syndra in paradise, enjoying the cold iciness that is the outside, not really feeling much of a temperature change in all honesty, and James being reminded of the cold winter nights back home when he was young.
At least my armor's keeping me warm.
As you sigh out and a cold breath almost instantly freezes.
And most of the crew's fine.
As you look at most of them, a little bit cold, but they seem to be otherwise kind of beginning to untie themselves and beginning to go back to what they were doing.
Frost giants are cold?
Yes, you heard me.
I said I would tell them to all still be ready for a while.
Oh,
I'd
okay,
say
got
probably
you.
After an hour, we will go back to normal.
Okay, got you.
In case there's an invisible crew.
Fair enough, alright. I say will retie themselves back up, though slightly annoyed at the fact, but most seem to kind of agree and nod along as the crew stays on high alert. Alright.
And I
Yes.
roll a heal check, because I know frost giants only get cold when they get a really bad disease unique to their creature.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a heal check, please.
Well, no, never mind.
May I try a heal check?
That depends. Can you beat a 12?
Yes.
Alright, go ahead. Um, 21. It almost seems that the crew does seem to be very tired. Many of them looking to be slightly feverish, and do seem to be shivering as you look amongst them.
Son of a...
You recognize this as the disease. Let me pull my notes. Old Jotun breath, as you also notice many of them are breathing out cold, frosty air.
Syndra, do you know how to treat old Jotun breath?
Well, seeing as how the cure was discovered only a couple years ago, and I have not been there since, no.
Fuck.
Isn't it like a remove disease spell?
Nope.
Not effective on this.
That's why a cure had to be made.
Man. Is it transferable?
Roman looks on with a bit of worry.
Presumably not. But
About how much of the crew seems to have it?
Give me a search check, because I'd assume you'd be going actively amongst the crew and like checking them out. Or are you trying to keep quiet about this?
I'd like to make it into a spot check as I will walk around and try and see the ones that are showing symptoms already.
Okay. Alright, yeah, go ahead and give me a spot check and give me a bluff check as well.
I think I only get a +1 to my bluff. Yeah.
Don't worry, it's like an acting DC, so it's not that bad. Alright,
14 for the spot, 12 for the bluff.
as you walk amongst the crew, you'd guesstimate about 1/4 of them seem to have the disease in the later stages of it. About another 1/4 of it seem to have the early stages and signs of it as you walk amongst them. However, your shifting eyes and concerned look does not seem to be missed by the crew's worried and anxiety-driven adrenaline. As many of them seem to begin to watch you, or seem to notice you, and begin to show a slight concern as whispers begin to pick up.
I bought medical textbooks when I was in after the war when we were in
Did you?
Gutham's lands. I do believe. I will double check my notes. If I haven't, then I guess I have to use the crystal to reach out and find out what the fucking cure is.
You didn't buy it. I did to make copies to sell. And that was on Nar, and I never specified if Nar took the book or not.
Well, Nar took Nar took all of his equipment with him. The only piece he left behind him was his two smiths.
Nar also said he would be leaving me a copy, though.
No, he did not. He said he'd be leaving you copies for his legal stuff. That was not his medical book. Wasn't part of that.
Shit.
Nope.
I have a crystal to reach out to someone later once we're not in this situation.
Alright, what are you going to say to calm the crew?
As you come back up, kind of standing next to Roland, as you look out at the darkened, cloudy skies as those snow and wind blows past you.
3 things that immediately came to mind were death flags, so I can't say them.
Please,
You're all going to be okay.
Everything is fine.
Those are the first 2.
You're all gonna get home to your families.
That was not one of them, luckily.
I promised to pay severance.
That's
Do
not
you
a
guys
death
have
penalty.
health insurance?
I'm happy I took that life insurance policy out on all of you.
I will just give a light explanation that I realize that a few members are sick, and we will get them treated as soon as possible.
Okay, give me a diplomacy check.
That's something you're good at. Yeah.
The crew kind of looks amongst themselves, and a few of them seem to nod along, but you do see there's still some concern. A few of them seem to be staring at you a little bit harder, with a bit more frowns amongst them. You're pretty sure, James, you didn't convince all of them, but at least those who are ill look to have calmed.
Those that are ill are the ones I'm most worried about right now. The others can bite me for a little bit. They're sick. They need to be calm. We need to be calm. Damn it. I pay well.
You sound the least calm out of all of us.
Yeah, you seem the least calm.
I'm very not calm.
What are the symptoms other than shivering and stuff? Is there any negatives to their combat
They
ability?
lose their cold immunity.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn, that's rough. I should probably lower the altitude then a bit, huh?
Yeah.
Alright.
As Roland begins to descend the ship down once more, kind of giving one last glance about. Give me a search check, Roland, just to make sure there's nothing that catches your eye.
Yeah.
As you look around for a moment, as James and Cinder stand to either side of you, kind of watching the beautiful sky and the snow do a glimmering dance as it twirls in the wind. Looking about...
20%.
Nice. Looking about as you do, looking through all of the many dark clouds passing through. There's not much you can see through here, but you don't notice anything. Nothing out of the ordinary catches your eyes, and thankfully it does not seem that there's any sort of spell or effect that is going in the clouds. Looks like they legitimately have given up. as you begin to turn the ship downward and descend at a slow pace, not to cause James to fall on his ass once more.
I'll give the order to resume normal functions.
As you kind of do, you see some of the men who were already anxious enough due to James seem to untie themselves and start heading down below as the crew begins to kind of gather. Those who aren't, like, that have duties that they're attending to kind of all go down to the barracks. As you, like, continue descending over the next hour or so, continuing following the map after that James kind of shows and points to, it's going to take a while for this, but over the next week, thankfully, it seems that almost nothing seems to pop up of it. Though, I do have bad news, James. I do have to roll con checks for the crew.
Yeah.
Which...
in that week, one of those days, we'll be reaching out to First Flame via Crystal to find out what the cure is.
Yeah, let me remind me how much... Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, let's see how much of those who are sick are going to make it. Ah! Only 3 crew members pass over the next 2 weeks. Thankfully, James, as you know, most of them seem to be the older and typically more often sickly and feeble amongst your crew. Not having expected much of them, their bodies seem to have grown colder and colder until they finally froze standing outside at their post, never moving and seemingly not noticed by the other members. Thankfully, though, the rest seem to pull through, at least, though, for the time being, not freezing in place or dying as the vessel continues to travel. As you lot finally arrive about a few miles outside of your destination, seeing the clearing of what looks to be a large opening in the heavy forested area. What looks to be a single building, even from here, clearly visible with its 2-story size, almost peeking over the trees around it, as well as, if that wasn't enough, the heavy amount of steam coming from all around it that you recognize almost immediately for what looks to be the hot springs. As your ship kind of heads that way, Roman kind of gives the order and lets everyone know to gather up top as the 3 of you kind of do so. Melvin, enjoying or seemingly staying in Rune's Hold while you lot have been decided to take on this mission, as he had other things to do. But as you lot kind of gather upstairs, Roman pointing to the location and signaling that you lot are close. James, James, Cinder, and Roman, you are left with a few moments to decide where you want to land and if you want to just go straight there or decide to do something else while you're here.
What are our options for locations to land?
Roughly, give me a search check, but you see about 2 easy clearings immediately. That spot, the first being around the house, and the second being about 5 miles south of it. With a 20, you do see what looks to be a small hill about half a mile north of the what looks to be the house that would be big enough to land on and dislodge from. Also, it would give you a good viewing from around the area. Otherwise, it doesn't look like there are many places that could fit a ship of this size, as this is very wild country.
I like that small hill. Any objections?
None from me. Syndra?
Don't look at me.
All right.
Small hill it
You're
is.
the one that's one with the cold, so if you feel disturbance of warmth, let us know.
As as Roman turns the ship and begins steering towards that, James heading into the captain's quarters to activate the crystal. Syndra, while James goes down there and while Roman's driving, is there anything you wanted to do, or are you just kind of hanging out and watching?
I actually wanted to roll something now that we're nearing the hot springs.
Mm-hmm.
What the divine aura is doing. Does the water seemingly have some kind of healing property? Does it...
Give me, let's call it a survival check in this situation. Normally, we acknowledge nature if you were close enough to actually do something with it, but from a distance.
Well, it's funny. I think I'm actually about the same on both.
Oh, well, that
So
works.
I think they're both plus 14. I rolled a 7, but a plus 14, so 21.
21? From the vapors, even from here, you can see the trees themselves glimmering and I can see the almost divine aura coming off of it. Simple guess, creatures that probably bathe in it are blessed with magic of some sort. More likely, the ponds seem to relax and almost awaken powers that are natural to the creature.
Damn. So probably not gonna help with the disease situation.
Could.
Okay.
I mean, from this distance, it's hard to tell as you don't see any creatures like that are diseased going about it.
I'll check again when I get closer, when I can actually be at the water.
No. The cranes and birds that seem to fly through it seem to look fine, but so at the very least, you know it's definitely not poisonous, as they seem to glimmer for a few moments before disappearing into the skyline. But as you do that, kind of watching James heading down into the captain's quarters as you go over to your globe, kind of grabbing a crystal and pushing it into the slot in Velkomen. The glimmer begins to glow as you see a young frost giantess kind of standing there, smiling as she looks at it and goes, "Hello, oh, James, hi, I am Regan Utham's niece. I was hired by the First Flame to work as the assistant here. How may I be of assistance?"
We need to know the cure for old Jotun's breath. A good number of the crew have seemingly caught it.
Oh, that's easy. Let me look up what I said, Cheston.
Shockingly, what you sent me, I found a cure. I think that's about it.
Is that really?
I
If it is, I might. I mean, I have an answer for in game. I just gotta remember.
I was just told I cured it, and it wasn't a problem anymore.
All better.
It would be great if it could be sent to Rootshold.
Oh no! I told you if you. I asked if you had a specific idea for it, and we didn't have anything, so we just went with it. Okay. All right. So it's time to come up with something canonical.
I'm so sorry. I thought you had something planned out for this.
Actually, I do. All right, this actually works very well. As you recognize, the cure is surprisingly simple. As she smiles and pulls out what looks to be a unique-looking vegetable in her hand. As she smiles, give me a second to pull it up because I can't spell for shit. As she pulls up this what looks to be kind of like a weed to you at first. That has little bits of yellow flowers that are microscopic and large green leaves upon it. As you look, I'm going to post an image just to make it also a little easier for you. Looking down as she holds this out, you recognize this as called Alexander's. There is another name, but it is commonly grown and found amongst the Crystal Crown Lands or the Crystal Giant Territories. It is a very aromatic vegetable that is parted with most foods, as she describes, and makes the most terrible smelling food taste and smell amazing when added, but tastes horrible by itself. But she describes it as just feeding it to the men on a regular basis, and it should cure it within about a month or two. Oh, if you have any, I know you do not, because you have never traveled to the Crystal Crownlands, and I can confirm this vegetable is barely grown anywhere else.
I have a job for somebody else eventually. That's great. Thank you.
She kind of smiles and waves at you as you pull the crystal out, kind of as you thank her, and she says, she kind of signs off. The crystal pulling out seems to glimmer for a second. James, you see as it does, it seems to turn red for a single moment, as if something is magically happening to it. Give me a spellcraft check or a knowledge arcana.
I will go with spellcraft because it's higher.
Makes sense. Ooh, 22. As it seems almost your crystal is being affected but it also you recognize as someone seems to be reaching out through
I
that
will
crystal.
put it back in.
As you set it back in, you see who you'd expect. Stan
God.
Standerson himself.
Oh, thank God.
As he stands there smiling and goes, "Oh, James, is this a bad time? You look like you were expecting someone else."
Saw glowing red. Thought it would be someone else. I'm glad it's you, Stan.
Yes, I just wanted to give you an update on Runetold and what Syndra had asked of us. Before we lost connection, I know as you start to see the light seems to kind of jam and seems to kind of cracked as his legs seem to disappear from underneath him, and his voice seems to cut off as the crystal goes blank, losing its color.
That seems like a problem.
As Rollman begins to turn the airship, Rollman, you notice, and Syndra, as you're looking off to the side of the ship, as you can't turn, trying to avoid going over the clearing of the water vapors, but getting close, you notice, Rollman, as the ship slightly tugs to the right as the water or the steam from the vapors down below seem to kind of blow towards the ship. It doesn't seem to knock it out of the sky, but you do feel for a moment almost a knee-jerk reaction of the ship.
Magic near water, bad. Okay. Not going near the water.
Roman steers a little harder to the right, makes a wider berth to the hill as he goes to land.
Is there any water near the hill?
No, thankfully.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I would have stopped that. Yeah, I got you.
We're in a heavy magic area that gives a lot of interference. Stan,
Syndra.
are you there? You're breaking up.
As James is shouting down at this, Syndra, you kind of put two and two together, realizing the water, the divine or magic on the steam seems to be giving it an anti-magic effect, almost like an anti-arcane effect.
Oh, it's only for Arcano, thank God.
Only for arcane? Well, then everything else we have is perfectly fucking fine.
Except for the ship. That's the only problem.
Yeah.
As James says this loud, one of the captain's quarter kind of roughly opening up as this. You guys can hear James yelling at the crystal to try and get the Stan to speak up as he pulls the crystal out and puts it back in.
I blow into the cartridge slot.
Yeah, blowing into the cartridge, taking it outside as he holds it up in the sky, shouting, and Stan see if he can hear him better as he goes back inside and sets it down. As you realize, James, that your connection has been cut, as you see the other crystals are also lacking in any sort of glimmer, seemingly as if they're being affected. As the ship comes to a landing, as you come outside looking at Rollman and Syndra.
Hey, James, I have interesting news.
Yes?
The water has so much divine, it turns off all arcane stuff.
Okay, so my armor will be fine, my weapon will be fine, your stuff will be fine, Rollman's stuff... Well, Rollman's weapon will be fine. I'm not sure about his armor.
Well, a lot of his stuff he bought. We have no idea if a lot of his gear is going to turn off or not.
Yeah.
Rollman's looking down at his gear, and there's a little bit of a concern on his face as he starts figuring out what's going to work and what's not.
I can guarantee your weapon will work. I can't guarantee anything else.
That'll be fine.
I'm glad I prepared support spells.
Truly is my holy land. No arcane, enhanced divine. It's cold. It's great.
You know what? Is this technically within the Stronghelm's lands?
Give me a profession merchant.
Because if it is, we might have found where Syndra gets to grow their grove.
Where's the surveyor when you need him? I need to pull out see where the landmarks are.
As
22.
As Rollman and Syndra looking up, trying to figure it out to see if they can spot any other castles or anything as James brings up this kind of query. James kind of thinks for a second, heads in, goes and grabs his map and pulls it out over the long table in the captain's quarters as he looks it over. Roughly mapping it out. James, this is within your territory now, technically.
Syndra, you have your grove spot.
James shouts as he rolls up the map, puts it away, and comes back out.
Didn't you have one in the
You now have two grove spots, one in Utham's land and one here. This is within my territory now.
Utham's Land is a mining territory.
It is a mining town.
Because we saw what we thought was a blue ice vein under the town.
Yeah, Utham's profiting quite well from that, by the way.
Yeah, and I am collecting some blue ice. That when we go back, I'm gonna have a giant chunk of blue ice to collect.
All right. Well, let's get to clearing it out then, huh? I do think we should investigate that water before we find any salamanders.
I'll do that. If you guys could look out.
Also, the cure is a very simple flower for the old Jotun's breath. It's a seasoning found in the crystal giant lands. We should keep an eye out for it.
Okay. What does it look like?
As
I
James
hear-
describes the plant, like, roughly as best as he can.
I hear keep an eye out. I look out. Snowbeard lands. I look in the rough direction of the crystal giant lands. I look back at James.
Give me
I
a
meant
knowledge
Marcus.
nature, Syndra.
Knowledge nature. Okay.
Yeah. Well, to see if you know if it
cultivate
grows here.
that'd be huge, but that's beside the point.
I am not a farmer.
Well, it's not
No,
if
you're
you.
good.
This isn't for you to cultivate. It's more to see if it grows here. Because I will note, for what you would know of this, James, this stuff grows like a weed. It is just a wild plant, typically.
It does grow wildly. It's just most commonly found there, so there is a
25.
chance.
25. So not only is this stuff so much of a problem wherever it grows that if you put it in a farm, this stuff, for your own note, Syndra, will overtake anything you put in that crop. Like, it is a detriment and a blessing in disguise. It grows really anywhere that commonly crystal giants have been found when they go out exploring. The seeds are common to be found on their boots, and has been found pretty much everywhere that they've gone. You're just as like to find it here as anywhere else on Kirkak. I mean, not likely, but there might be small bits of it here and there if you get lucky.
I'll just shrug. I'll keep an eye out.
If we spot it, they just need to eat it for about a month. For those of you that are sick, as I'll turn to the crew, get rest.
They nod.
For those of you that aren't, don't get sick, please.
They nod.
I love destruction.
James is a
And-
simple man.
He doesn't ask for much.
And keep the ship safe. If it needs to be
What?
taken off, Oonga Chunga can handle that, I do believe.
She nods.
What time frame we want to give them to be back, accepting us back?
Well, we're gonna have to fight 10 of these things, one by one, as they're spread out around this area,
What?
Rollerman.
Roughly 10. There could be 9. There could be 11.
Oh, okay.
Okay, roughly 10 of these spread throughout the area. I don't think we're getting them all in the day. We'll try to be back here by...
Alright.
It's roughly what time do I believe it to be?
Roughly about now, 8, 9-ish in the morning. I mean, by where the sun is, but it's, where the sun should be. But with all the heavy sky, the clouds and snow, it could be 10, 11 o'clock. It's morning. I mean, that's, it's morning at the very least.
We'll aim to be back here by evening.
Dusk.
Yes. But this also has persuaded me that I need to build a clock of some sort. Water clocks are expensive, and I'm not getting one of them.
So,
Build a water clock. It's only 200 pounds.
That's too heavy. Fuck that.
I'm gonna bring my giant sundial.
okay.
Please do.
Oh,
It is
yeah,
cloudy.
the sundial. That's gonna help us when there's no fucking sunlight.
Can you
As
cast daylight?
James waves his hand up to the sky as the snow seems to, like, almost have as an emphasis come down harder. As
So,
you
are we going?
Yeah.
Yes,
Alright. As you Rollerman gives the orders, kind of looking over at Karak, who's kind of taken up the secondary commander role whenever you guys are gone, giving him the rundown of the patrols and what to do while away, how to maintain what to maintain the ship with. You lot disembark. Are you taking the wagon, or are you is it just gonna be the three of you on foot? I mean, it's a half a mile, so. Oh, that's a fair point.
Half
How are you gonna
mile.
move the corpses? That is a good point.
and I'm gonna be carrying the chest of preserving because it doesn't exceed my carry capacity.
Okay.
Carry the box. Okay.
As I'll just
I will note-
back in placement of a backpack.
You know these creatures to be mixed between large to huge in size, so just kind of keeping that in mind.
Yeah, it has a 700-pound capacity.
Okay.
So
Okay. Fair enough. As the three of you disembark, leaving the wagon behind, they leave the pulley unbothered and kind of get everything, or the crew begins to kind of maintain the ship as you head into the forest.
Yeah, it is empty right now. Last I checked, so we're good.
All right. I will take a survival or knowledge nature to figure out where these salamanders would probably be likely to keep their nests from whoever is going to be checking.
Yay!
All right. Let's
Druid.
see what you
Want my
got.
boost, Gia?
No, I got this.
He's got it. Save your boostings.
I'm only gonna fail if I nat one. If I nat one, your boost means nothing.
That's true.
That is fair.
I nat
Oh.
20.
Oh
That's a
my
different-
god. All right. Well, shit. So you know exactly. In fact, actually, you know, when you are stuck in your cell, Syndra, a book fell from one of the guards' pockets, and while you were really upset that it was the most dull book you'd ever found, you couldn't help but be perplexed why a dragon was so interested in salamanders. And here it was, a book on the history of salamanders and everything written by the man himself, the researcher who discovered the species, the individual called a Single Claw, a young kobold kin who was said to be a drakekin who superseded his intelligence stereotype. Noting in the book that not only do salamanders have a thing for the love of the taste of fish, preferring it as their main meal. However, they'll eat anything, being the scavengers that they are. You also learn the creatures like to keep their nests close to very warm areas, typically volcanoes, steam geysers in general, water pools that seem like hot springs, cold springs. Typically, most commonly because they will lay their eggs inside those hot springs to keep them warm through the harsher weather conditions that these salamanders typically find themselves in. On top of that, not only are they, you know that they are very territorial, but a little bonus information you gain from this, they are very known to follow and chase things out of their territory, refusing to back down even if they have to run into another salamander's territory to kill you. So,
If that happens, will the other salamander usually pick a fight with that one? And
yes, there's a good chance they will. They will typically fight each other or fight you to get as they fight each other at the same time. So it'll be an all-out brawl.
free fall.
Yes. As salamanders like to use that as an excuse to invade their other rivals' territories, is to let prey go into it and use that as an excuse to attack them.
Then, last question: do they ever nest like they are here without a female? Does that happen?
Typically, yes and no. It's males will typically build their nests to attract the females to stay longer or in the area, basically leaving the nest to the female and giving that portion of their territory up so that the female will stay in the area for their future interests. However, with the fact that there's no female, that tells you most likely there has to be one nearby, or the scent of one has to be in the area. Otherwise, they wouldn't bother with building nests.
So either there's one just outside that no one saw, which to be fair, I only rolled a little over 20 on my gather info, so it could be.
Could be.
Or there's some other lizard-like creature running around.
Or someone has taken the scent glands from a female and marked in the area specifically, trying to get these creatures to build nests, which wouldn't be much advantageous except for gathering them all in a single area.
But if they did that, they're probably in the lodge.
Correct.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say.
Yeah. So we
How
might
would that
have
happen?
we might have someone in the lodge that brought all these salamanders here. They don't nest without a female nearby, but
Will
there's
we
no
harvest
female.
bring it in? Are they harvestable in some way, at all?
The salamanders? Yes. So with the knowledge nature, Syndra, that you would have gotten, salamanders are worth their weight in gold. I mean, not only from their breath glands that they have naturally, their skin, especially for the noble salamanders, is extremely durable, and pretty much resistant to everything but magic, which is most young adventurers' dream gear for when they're starting out and will pay high dollar for it. Salamanders, on top of that, just generally have their bones are worth a lot, similar to having draconic properties of gaining masterwork value to whatever metal they're applied to or ground into. I mean, they're worth a lot of money. There is a complete reason. The nesting thing again wouldn't make sense, as they would build their nest typically just by gathering like food and like meat and stuff around the area, so that the females would have somewhere to sit and eat, and not have to go anywhere while they watch their nest. Or watch their eggs. So, yeah.
So yeah, I'll just say to Rollman, every part of the body is basically worth a fortune. Anyone would have a reason to do this. However, these are also creatures that can decimate low-level adventurers, so whoever's in there has to be strong or very overly confident.
Yeah, I think we're going strong. And if we do like deal with any single Salamanders, they might retaliate or something. So we might
With the statement of overly confident, did I see any hide or hair of the Forsaken ghosts in town?
In town, yes. They had been, because you had met with them to confirm the information on the Gold Dragon when you were curious. They were staying in town because they were afraid the Gold Dragon would attack them as soon as they left.
Okay, that knocks off the overconfident, the immediate overconfident.
However, I will note, James, there's like 4 other adventuring groups in town that you have not met that could have fully be the responsible party for this. This is from what roughly from what Cinder explains on the value of this, you'd guesstimate these things to probably be worth north of 1 million gold pieces for the corpse. Probably not worth anything living, but the eggs themselves, to be able to raise them in captivity, would be worth a lot to be able to refine the scales and such.
Let's keep that in mind. Let's try and investigate that water before we go and start killing salamanders, because then you say, Syndra, that the water might have some sort of benefits to things that drink it or bathe in it.
From a range, I think the water helps awaken magical bloodlines, but I'd have to go up to it and check it to see exactly how it works.
Yeah, I want to figure out if these salamanders might have some due to these geysers.
I mean, if you guys keep watch, I can check the water.
Okay. I also want to figure out whether my shit's gonna be affected or not.
Yeah, as you look down at your items cautiously.
Before we start heading down, then, like you two thought.
The lodge is in the middle. I don't know if we want to go into the middle with no information.
That's fair.
Yeah, he has a good point there. All right. So are you guys just heading? You guys are heading straight there then?
Heading to the nearest spring.
Okay. Then let me get some search, spot, and listen from each of you. Not all 3. You can pick one. I've learned my lesson with that. It's not worth it.
I guess I take spot again.
That's 11 search.
11 for the search. Okay. 13 spot. And then Syndra, who I think just stepped away for a moment.
I just got back.
Oh, okay.
So what am I doing?
Listen.
Listen.
Check, please.
Yes. Funny thing, during time I finished skill focused listen.
Oh, nice.
I now have a plus 17 to use without buffs.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh my god.
There we go. That's what we
man.
want to see.
Hear you.
Yeah, as you lot head through the forest, kind of keeping your ears out, listening for really anything that could catch your attention. As you lot walk through, or as you walk through the town, or forest. Sorry, I'm reading something in the background as I'm going through this. As you're walking through the forest, nothing seems to catch your eyes, Roloman or James, as the forest seems almost still. The heavy snow kind of clamping down on the trees, causing all of the sound to almost be completely absent. The few minute branches snapping in the distance, echoing for miles as the storm continues on, and the snow continues to layer. Syndra, who's happily skating along, back in her element, as she was happy to be, as you only seem to go places that are dangerous in the winter, which, weird how that works out. Syndra, as you... keeping your ears open as you are. As you listen to the distant sounds, it's surprising how quiet the town is, God damn, I keep saying town forest. Fuck. As you walk through, hearing no crunches other than your own teammates, only hearing the occasional branch in the distance, but nothing catching your attention. No birds, no squirrels, no really anything kind of making a noise as you head through. Only the light sounds of the bubbling of the warm hot springs as you get closer and head that direction. However, it doesn't take a check for all three of you to almost immediately catch the scent of the dead and very, very not well-aged meat scent that is carrying on the air as the smell of dead animal carcasses becomes almost unbearable on the night or on the early morning air as the snow continues to come down. Heading over and passing the clear tree lining, you come to the first of the lowest of the ponds that seem to be bubbling with a white liquid-like water. It seems somewhat translucent as you look down, but steaming with heat as it seems to billow in the air, as its color seems to stay true. The steam even giving a glimmer of white as it goes up into the sky above you. Looking about, you see what looks to be almost a 4-level tier system on a small hill up to the center where a house seems to sit. Kind of slightly broken down. It looks to be completely unlit from over here, made of wood, and what looks to be seemingly a hunter's lodge of some sort. Kind of easily notable by the old firewood sitting outside and the couple of bones and taxidermy desks and tools sitting out on the back wall. The tiered hill seems to have a couple of large and very wide pools at the top, and that seem to kind of fountain down slowly in some waterfalls that seem to expand out as the pools get more slimmer as they go further down, but seemingly get hotter as you see the lower ones are the only ones bubbling like they're boiling. Looking about, noticing the chunks of carrion buried under the snow, pieces of what look to be deer, some sort of boar, wolves, hounds, cats of large and small sizes. Chunks of meat seemingly just kind of hanging around the different hot springs, but yet no clear sign of any of these salamanders.
James, I have bad news.
Yes?
I don't hear a single living creature.
That is horrifying. Do you think we should back off?
I mean, I can at least check the water. It shouldn't take me more than a moment.
Go ahead and do that, but be ready for anything.
Who knows? Maybe I'll awaken my fucking cold bloodline. Who knows?
As you look down at the water, what are you gonna do?
You said I could roll again for survival when I got much closer.
Yep.
Or spellcraft, I guess.
I'll take either.
Oh, please a spellcraft, why not? Because I think that's a plus 18. Yeah.
Roll another 20.
Be cool if I did.
And then we'll go into combat and you won't roll anything good ever.
I don't have to roll for combat.
Let's see what you can do. Oh no, 37. Jesus.
Is
Alright.
19 good enough, Grumpy?
No, it is not.
Damn it.
And I assume, and this is spellcraft, just to make sure.
This is spellcraft. I'm checking the magic effects of this water.
Okay. As you kind of look over the water, you do see the intense divine aura, seeing it almost eating away at the arcane magics coming off of Rollman, as you see the auras themselves beginning to blend, Rollman's items beginning to glimmer and beginning to burn on his hand as he, I imagine, quickly takes them off and begins to put them away.
Depending on which one.
Your ring of, I think it's mind shielding is the one you have?
No, I don't have a ring of mind shielding.
No, was it not? I thought it was you.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
No, I can look at your.
your.
I've got your character sheet here. I can pull it up real quick. No issue. Let me just grab you.
wait, I do have one arcane ring on.
I hope not.
Nope.
Alrighty, let me do a quick look through all. Oh, well, I've got good news. Think for me mostly. Those daylight pellets you have on you, Roman, are now useless.
Damn.
I know.
The one daylight pellet I have.
I know what exactly. Let's see. Your ring of arming will slowly begin to lose its magic.
Alright, I have 2 of them. Are they both?
Yes, both of them will
Okay.
be.
Okay. I'll get that noted.
And then I'm just going through because I gotta remember what James has made and what James hasn't of your armor.
I have not made him any armor currently that he is wearing.
Only a sword that James has made. Everything else is bought.
Yep. Your studded leather will as well for the what it is, since it has the insight and typeless initiative bonus.
Okay.
And then let's see. Oh, those are your notes for yourself, and that will looks like really be it because most. Oh wait.
So,
Oh, you have
most of
magic
my
items are in a separate
Google.
Google Doc. I see that.
Yeah.
You wanna
I
send
can list
that?
them, or I can just send you the sheet. Do
Yeah,
want
you
that?
can send that to me real quick.
Okay. I will send you my equipped items.
The good news is your bag of coining is good.
Wow.
But as your magic items begin to glow and warm as Letless comes over, and we'll take a look at that here in a second. Syndra, you are almost fully sure that what this is seems to be an anti-arcane liquid. Seemingly, as you kind of take a note, it seems to destroy or overwhelm the magic of arcane items. Beyond that, as you look into it, it also seems to have a natural healing property to it that you haven't seen before. And though it's hard to tell, you guess this to be something on a higher level than what even James can produce. Lastly, it seems to its only other effect seems to have something to do with the divine magic itself, though. There is, as you notice, a very strong sense of something beneath these waves, underneath the water, deep in the hot spring down below, where the water boils, that almost seems to give off the main bit of the arcane, or the divine magic coming out of this hot spring, almost like a source. It's hard to tell what it is or where exactly it is, but roughly your guesstimation is about a half a mile below the surface.
Okay. Do I get the feel? Is it just the water being near arcane stuff, or is it like the vapors from the water?
The vapors seem to be what's causing the effect. Anything that seems to touch this water seems to have the effect, basically.
So I can probably bottle this and it not be a problem later as I'm carrying them.
Correct.
I do have some vials.
Oh, Rollman, I'm so sorry. So yeah, the headband, the third eye, your amulet, your vest, your armor, your belt, your cloak, your gloves. Buddy, it's everything you just basically listed there, except for the boots, because your boots are affected by the chlorium still.
Okay.
Shout out to the Chlorium.
Chlorium.
As you're, and they're not busted, they do begin to glow though, and you get the sense that if they are splashed with this material, they are going to be completely disenchanted.
Damn, that's rough. We should use that as a weapon.
As Roland
I
looks
can get
down
this
at
on a
it.
sprinkler system to spray it on their airships.
No.
It's gonna be horrible.
Roland says that and peeks over and sees me already bottling some of it.
Good job. Okie
Just,
dokie. I'll step away from that so that my items are still functioning, and then
Okay.
if we have to go further in, I'll start taking stuff off. But right now, I'm not going
So,
to.
Okay.
I've got good news with the water. It has high natural heal properties, so it might help our current problem.
That's
You think it will
good.
work
It'll
the
also,
disease?
if it gets spilled on the ship, make it stop working, won't it?
I didn't say to bring it to, I meant to bring the crew here later.
That we might do that.
Also, Roland doesn't have to go into the area. Apparently, these creatures will follow you anywhere. We just have to bait it out of the springs.
That's
Which
true.
is
You could
really
just
And
lead
you
it
move the
for me.
fastest out of all of us in this terrain.
Well, as I look at the water, no,
Looking in, you do see something seemingly move and recognize the glitter of the scales of one of the salamanders.
I don't know if I can move fast in the water. As I make a hand motion, like behind my back of move back.
I jump
running.
back.
I'm running. I don't want to be near this water when it splashes.
I'm moving
James
away.
takes Rollman takes a full 40-foot step back.
I'm getting back
Yes.
back by him. I gotta
Alright.
pat him for enlarge.
Instead of 5-foot step, a 40-foot step.
Yeah, exactly. As you look back up from the into the,
squash,
tree line.
The squash and stretch cartoon step.
Mm-hmm. Okay, as you back into the tree lines, watching it, a few moments go by and nothing seems to pop out of the water.
Do I know what languages they speak with the book I had earlier? Because I believe they're intelligent.
Salamanders are intelligent. However, as far as language goes, most of it's primitive, basically. In a sense, they understand the guttural language of grunting and posturing.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I have a weird question. Fire creatures. So you know there's the 4 element languages. Would
Correct.
their opposite element language piss them off?
No.
Damn it. I was gonna start speaking cold.
It is an idea.
Blizzard, snowball.
No, it's more like burble, because cold is part of water as a language.
Yeah.
Oh, I speak primitive. I'll basically tell it to get the fuck out here and fight me.
Give me an intimidation check. As you look down at the water and say this.
As I will use a class feature and I start hemorrhaging a cold aura,
Fight me!
bringing me to a +6.
Yeah, very intimidating you are.
Look, I can be scary when I want to. 25.
25. As you shout this down, the creature seemingly, its eyes turning towards you, as you see 2 other heads pop out behind it, of similar size, and the 3 of them begin moving and wiggling up towards the waterline. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break as the players begin to roll their initiative, and we will be back in a moment. Could be. We return back with our initiative all on count and done up while the players planned their strategies, totally came up with the best idea, and we'll see how this plays out. As the initiative count goes off, Roland and James 40 feet back from the the medium-sized pool of water. Syndra standing right over, intimidating the creatures down below as she shouts in primitive to come and fight her, challenging and grunting at the creatures as she does, pounding her chest. The creatures seem to almost duplicate and then triple as the 3 large salamander nobles come flying out of the water, standing right in front of Syndra. However, as the initiative starts up, Rolaman, you are first up as you see these 3 creatures jump out of the water, standing in front of Syndra about 35 feet in front of you.
Ooh, I'm not going to get near there. Swift action, I'm going to go into a punishing stance so that I'll lower my AC, but I'll do extra damage if I hit things.
Okay.
Action, I will reach my back to my short bow and activate the Bless on myself for +1 to attack rolls.
Okay.
For as an action. Second action. Is there any possible way for me to get splashed from this far back?
From this far back, no. They'd have to have a high strength. I mean, that would be like, we're talking like the ability to throw your ship kind of strength.
Glitter Breeze would have to come here.
Now, and you're pretty sure if a salamander came out of the water looking like that, you'd know that's a roided out salamander. These do not look like that.
To fight Glitter Breeze, and we're calling him.
I will use my armor's ability to see what creature is the highest CR.
Okay.
That I can see.
Uh,
see what CR it is.
Okay. Well, I
That's what's fighting
have.
the salamander, so I was about to say Syndra.
Well, Cinder is technically lower CR than all of these creatures. But with that, as you look amongst them, as you look at the three noble salamanders kind of sitting in front of Syndra, all either flanking or glaring at her at this point as they stare. The one in the center that seems to be slightly larger than the rest seems to be a bit bigger and more muscular. You can definitely get the sense, but he seems to be quite slow, given the fact of how slow he's reacting to the current situation. He's last in initiative. I rolled a 6. I don't want to hear anything. All right, I have a +1 to initiative here. It wasn't great.
All right, and what CR is it?
Roughly from what you can tell, CR 11.
Okay, I will point to that one. That's the toughy one, and I'll take a 5-foot step back.
Okay.
That's my turn.
And you end your turn pointing to it as Syndra and James kind of see which one you're talking about. James, you're up as Rollman takes a 5-foot step back.
Well, is it a free action to drop something?
Yes, if you're holding it.
Good. I'm shrugging off the chest off my back because I don't want to let it get broken.
Alright, as you unbuckle the clamp, yeah, I'll allow that to just drop onto the ground.
Let's see. For quick and dirty things, I don't have much I can do.
Please don't do dirty things. That's your aunt up there. That's not okay.
I need to check the range on this. I'm 3.5 because I need that. Thank you. I don't have the range, and I don't want to run up and do that because it might disable the wand. Fuck. So, turning to Rolliman, buddy, friendo, take an animalistic power.
What to do?
That is again akin to augment true friend. I gotta find it again because I always lose it. Here it is. Subject gains +2 bonus to strength, dex, and con. Enjoy.
All right.
And that will last you for 7 minutes.
Good.
All right.
As I will turn and blast, as I hold up the wand of Orb of Cold, and attack one of the other salamanders.
All right. Let's see what you got.
Orb of Cold, it's Orb of Cold lesser. I have to make sure I remember that. Which means you should be. Why are wrong spell list? That's why I couldn't find it.
James puts back the wrong spell book, grabbing out his clerical book.
No, this one's actually technically belongs to the arcane side, but and 3. Okay, yeah, because wands take 4th level. It is a touch attack. So.
Ooh, you gonna come touch me?
No, it's a ranged touch attack,
Oh,
buddy.
okay.
He's touching from far away.
Damn you.
And I'm within range for this.
Uh-huh.
So we're only like 40 feet away.
6. Does a 22 meet the one that looks like it's about to jump the fastest? AC. Touch AC.
Yes.
Any plus to this? That way I can add it on. No, it is not. Okay, that's good to know. It's been a while since I've used this. 10 cold damage.
10 cold damage, good sir, as you watch the creature, or the icy snowball go fluttering from James's wand, as it does, glimmering through the sky, as it seems to pick up snow that lands onto it, smacking into the noble salamander. Its glimmering red scale seemingly kind of almost immediately heating the snowball and melting it. Although the creature does look irritated and slightly bruised from where the snowball hit.
Cold still effective.
James shouts with a win as he ends his turn, I assume.
Yeah, that's all I can do. 5-foot step back, I guess, as well.
Okay. Perfect. As the snow around Rolaman begins to crack and a creature seems to pull its head out looking up at you, Rolaman, as you look in the eyes of a flame brother salamander.
What's up?
It looks at you for a pleasant conversation and a cup of tea.
Oh, okay. Does it have a top hat on?
No, unfortunately, but it does have a
You know
little,
what? If this one just
cane.
wants to be chill, I'll hire him.
But
Fucking come on.
instead, no, it's going to go ahead and try and stick you with its spear-like tongue.
Oh, that's good. I'll do that.
Well, it's going to do this twice, so we'll just
I have
see.
a monocle if he wants to be fancy.
You know, fair. Does a 25 hit, Rollman?
No, it does not.
Well, then I assume an 18 doesn't.
Nope, doesn't hit either.
As the creature stabs its tongue at you. Oh, sorry, I get 3 attacks. My apology. Oh, no, never mind. It's a times 3 critter. Never mind. It's only 2. As it stabs at you with its tongue twice, trying to stab through your armor, as you manage to easily deflect the tongue away, the creature glaring at you as it does, its eyes glimmering with the fiery burn inside its body, as it ends its turn. Unfortunately, James, good buddy, as you look over, watching as Roland suddenly kind of surprised by the attack of one of these creatures sticking its head out, another one seems to come running, seemingly out from almost nowhere, charging over at you. It is going to make a bull rush attack at you.
It's gonna push you.
It is.
Does it pass by me? No,
No.
I'm right next to
Yep.
James. No, it doesn't pass by me.
Right. Now, it still has to make an attack to, do the bull rush, so.
Yeah. And I have to check. Do I get to counter the bull rush?
If it hits.
If it hits. Alright. Well, that's a nat 20, so that hits. Let's. No. Okay. Alright. So it's gonna hit, so yep, you'll get a contestants against it, because it does not have improved bull rush, good sir. So, this will be, well, first you get your attack of opportunity, then you get your chance to contest.
Oh yeah, attack of opportunity with my hammer. Let's see how this goes.
I'm sure you can hit it. You're really good at hitting things.
Because if you succeed in hitting it, the bull rush fails, basically.
+2 +2, so +11. 18?
Let me double check. I think. That does not hit. You missed by 1, legitimately.
Now you will be pushed.
As James gets a swing off. Alright, and James, you're medium, right?
Yeah.
So you'll take a -4. Give me a d20 plus your strength.
Oh, so that'll be a d20 -2.
Mm-hmm. But with a -4 on top of it, because you are medium.
No, that's a d20 -2 with the -4.
Oh, that's 7. Don't worry, I've got more to add to it. That's before I get the modifier. Yeah, don't worry. That will be... Actually, you know what? It's only a +1 to that. So that's an 8. It barely wins as it shoves you 5 feet backwards, James. It is going to go ahead and do... I'm just checking. Actually, I can only move you 5 feet because of the distance. Oh, fuck.
because I didn't fail horror.
No, it's because you're at the end of my distance, actually, for how far you had to run. I can't move you very far. So you get pushed 5 feet back, and it doesn't look like, no, there's nothing for knocking prone. I need a feat for that. Cool, good to know. Alright, as the creature ends its turn, knocking you 5 feet away from Rollman to keep you two apart as it ends its turn.
Wait, that means it's right next to Rollman.
It is. It technically is, which gives it flanking, but gives Rollman flanking. Alright. Syndra, as behind you hear the snow begin to rustle from right next to a tree as another small salamander, an average-looking one, kind of pops its head out, tasting the air and looks over at you as it opens its maw and begins to charge at you. Not actually charging, but moving over to attack you. And this one's got this is gonna suck. I only get half my modifier for my second attack. All right, does a 23 hit you as the salamander or as the average salamander rushes up behind you to stab you with its tongue?
It does not.
All right. Or sorry, 25 because I got +2 for flanking.
Still no.
Damn.
I have very high AC.
Alright, well, with a +2 on top of that, that's only for the second attack. 26?
Nope.
God damn, as you kind of bat away the spear tongue from the creature as it tries to stab at you from behind.
I'll be honest, you missed by 1.
Oh, as Syndra's given a moment of a flashback as she remembers her last experience with spears, not wanting to repeat the scenario. She glares at the salamander as it misses its second barrage. Alright. Now for the noble salamanders, Terran that managed to roll higher than Syndra. Only one of them did, which kind of hurts the whole game plan here.
The other 2 really aren't going to enjoy what happens on my turn.
No, I understand. Let me double check, because I can't remember. Yeah, it is. Okay. Do you have spell resistance? I forget.
I don't think so.
Okay. I'm just double checking. All right. As the salamander burps out a fireball or a fiery sphere out of its mouth as it goes hurtling towards you, Syndra, please give me a reflex save.
You know, I'm not good at reflex saves. Only a +5. It's a 15.
I gotta remember to check my DC. Oh, it was a what, you said?
15.
15? Fucker. You meet, god damn it. So you will take, is that negates? Oh, you will not take any bit of damage as the fireball stops right behind you as you manage to jump just in time as it goes underneath you. As he has not moved, and the flame sphere lasts technically for the round, he is just going to move it back. So give me another reflex save.
Doing it again.
Oh, yep.
Can you
it's
jump
12.
the 12? This time you do not succeed, as you take the full bit of fire damage.
Don't forget your fire resistance, Syndra.
Oh wow. 6, 12 points of fire damage.
I hate to tell you, I have 15 resistance.
Oh no!
Oh man.
You know what's even worse? Flame Sphere doesn't get stronger with higher spellcasting ability from these creatures.
With the fire gauntlets, I punch the fire sphere.
As the creature kind of, the salamander looks at you annoyedly as it watches the sphere fail at its effect. It ends its turn. Alright. Syndra, you're up. What would you like to do? You've got 3 noble salamanders in front of you, 1 in the center that's kind of that's huge, 2 on the sides that are large, and then an average salamander behind you. With, of course, your team about 35 feet roughly behind you with their own 2 flame brothers they're dealing with.
I'm going to start with a D100 to see if this works.
Ah, yes, because it is daytime.
That is not a 5 or below.
Nice, always good.
This is casting defensively, which I rolled a 21, so I do not get attack of opportunity.
Okay.
I need, I believe, a reflex save from all 3 of the nobles.
Ooh, okay.
Blast out some cold damage.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I hope so. 20, 30, 15.
Only the nat 20 succeeds.
Ooh, okay. So the fat guy makes it.
So the one that succeeded is basically going to even out back to normal damage, because With my meta magic, this deals double damage to fire creatures.
Ooh. It's a bad time to mention that I am a fire creature.
I know. So 84 to the ones that failed, and 42 to the guy that succeeded.
Ooh.
Just
Yeah.
remember, that was a bad roll by beyond
was-
20.
When I get comments about people asking me why I max HP on monsters, this is why.
I didn't roll a single 6. That's really upsetting.
Give me a second. Oh no, sorry. I'm just doing math.
Statistical anomaly.
Ooh. This is what Rollman was looking forward to, going back to actually succeeding in combat. And then 42 for that. Okay. Ho, ho, ho. The one salamander that you broke the fire sphere of looks slightly bloodied as he starts coughing up, and you can see... what was the spell you cast?
That was Cone of Cold.
As you kind of shoot your icy winds out, snowflakes kind of smacking in, the body of the creature on the right seemingly beginning to freeze as you see its front leg kind of crack and almost completely pull off as a grotesque bit of meat and the veins kind of pull and tear as the creature screams, tearing its arm away, getting itself free. It stares at you defiantly, though.
Well, lucky for you, I'm not going to do that again, because I don't know. Wait, I only have 3 of those.
And you don't want to what in case there's more of these creatures coming.
Well, I'm more expecting to fight whoever's in the
That's fair.
place after. So instead, I'm going to cast defensively again. Let's see if I succeed. I do, because that's a 23. I vanish and appear next to Rollman and James.
Oh, you're using your snow teleportation. Okay.
Yes.
You kind of turn into a snowman, and then the snow kind of drops into the snow itself as you reappear, reforming from another snowman next to James and Rollman as you reform from the snowman coming out of the ground.
And that'll end my turn.
Freaky abilities that Syndra has for the average viewer. To James and Rollman, this is another Tuesday.
It's just a Tuesday.
Actually, no, it's a Thursday, fun fact.
Damn it.
It is. I double checked. Yeah,
I was about to make a joke. It's Thursday, actually. I didn't know for sure, but you know.
The flame brother is up. That is going to pop up. Funny enough. Syndra, give me a balance check as you have things under your feet.
You land on its head.
Goomba Stomp!
You landed on a sleeping lizard.
17. I actually fixed my
17.
balance issue earlier.
You managed to hold your ground as the creature stands up. It can fully carry you. From what I can see of what you have weight for equipment, how much you weigh. So, unless you've got hidden equipment, I can't see on your character sheet.
Mail.
Like 60 pounds.
Okay, roughly, yeah. As you feel yourself pulled up off the ground, as you're now standing surfing the back of a large flame brother salamander, as its head kind of glimmers with the fiery red color of the noble's scales, but the back end seems to be a bit more brownish in its coloration.
I could freeze you to death, or we could be friends if I pat him on the head.
The creature is going to try and nip at James' heel as you try to pin it on the head. And do they have the multi-attack fee? Oh, they do. Oh, I was wrong on something. Oh, well, that's my cake on my face. I'm not gonna go back. I apologize. I get two to. Is it 2 or 3 attacks per turn?
Multi-attack, improved multi-attack
two.
just means that you take less of a penalty for the next attack, I'm pretty sure.
No, the monster multi-attack is what I'm talking about. It means that the creature attacks twice per turn.
They're full round.
Because it means that it's not high enough CR to get a natural double, because it's a low CR creature. So that's what I was looking at. I was just making sure I was right. So it gets 2 attacks, not 1. So I screwed up on that. Alright. So it is going to go ahead and try to spear its tongue at James, which I think I actually have to crit to actually hit James.
Yeah, you do.
So 4d20 plus 6. But I have a nat for a nat 20 when I have to do group rolls. All right, there's that 26. You roll to
You have to
confirm.
confirm it with another.
No,
Oh,
no.
so
I
just a
assume
hit.
I assume a 10 does not beat your AC.
No,
Okay.
no, it does
So
not.
it is just a confirmed hit as James kind of bats the first one away, ignoring the creature as he stares at the other one in front of him that seems more interested as it seems to catch him with its second bout of its tongue. As Syndra kind of goes to pet its head, moving it slightly as the creature's tongue slashes into James' elbow. James, you will take, since it's normal, which is sad because I get times 3 crit if I actually hit, 6 points of piercing plus 6 points of fire.
And that will be reduced. Okay.
As the creature kind of sticks its tongue straight forward, going through and bringing it back as it stares at you, the spear-like tongue kind of nipping at the air as it readies itself for another attack. Ending its turn, though.
9 damage.
Syndra was smart as these noble salamanders are slow as shit on the ground and do not care. The large one is going to look about for a second. And is going to charge forth at you lot. Thankfully, you're within... it's 40 foot. It can move 40 feet. Oh my god. What's my range for attack, actually? Let me look. I have a decent 90 distance. Reach is 10 feet. Alright. Well, that sucks. Alright. You are just out of my distance, you bastard.
I mean, you can dash.
It does, yeah, I could, but no. The creature is going to run forward, using its action and its movement to get up right next to James and Syndra.
And what about me?
Well, you are an extra 5 feet. I can't actually get close to you.
I'm closer than they are.
No, you backed up, because James got
pushed back.
No, James got pushed forward.
So
yeah,
you're behind.
Yeah, so
I
you got pushed closer or back a little bit more from the springs, or you're further back from the springs than James and Syndra are. All right, and the huge is not going to move for a moment as I'm going to look at something. As the huge one is going to belch a ball of fire over towards the middle of you lot, and out of the ground is going to come a huge fire elemental.
Is that a spell?
Correct.
Immediate action, since it has a visual component, dispel magic.
You're a bastard. Alright, roll for it.
19.
Let me double check what level spell summon monster is, because it's 10. I think DC is what, 10 plus?
It's the caster level.
Was it caster level? Is it 10 plus caster level?
I think so.
Because if that's the case, that's not a success by a long shot. Let me double check dispel magic. It's been a minute since we've had it on the show. Note the effect of the spell is in one object, creature, spell, target. It's D20 plus your caster level. It is. So, against the spell or against each ongoing spell. DC of this dispel check is 11 plus the spell caster's level. So you do fail, James. I'm sorry to tell you, as the dispel magic goes off. As this creature's summon monster 7 expands out, and an earth elemental gem seems to, or not earth elemental, sorry, fire elemental gem seems to begin to glow on the ground as it erupts into flame, and a huge fire elemental joins the fray.
Well,
and goes last.
I tried.
Yeah, you did. You tried. Good. Hey, it works. It's something. Give me a second to get my HP pool here, because I gotta do maths. That's alright. Cinder's looking at this as a paradise, because she's about to just rain hell on everything that's fiery. Alright. The fire elemental is up on it as it's summoned, or it comes together, and it is going to go ahead and swing at Rolaman as the first target.
Booty in.
Let's see. However, because I was summoned, I only get 1 attack, so that sucks, but I'll take it. This will be a slam attack roll, man. So that is a 20 to hit. I rolled like ass.
Does
No?
not hit.
As you kind of turn your head, seeing the fiery hand come down just the moment, parrying it away as the creature stands over you, eerily looking like one of the fire salamanders as it glares with anger. Ending its turn as it only gets 1 force after being summoned. So, perfect. Roman at the top of the initiative. You are surrounded in Flame Brother Salamanders and a Fire Elemental now, my man.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah.
So many friends.
So many friends. Alright, so Fire Elemental and 3 Flame Brothers.
1, 2, no, 2. Oh, 3, yes. No, 3, because there's Syndra standing on 1. Yes, 3.
3 Flame Brothers, and then the 1 Noble, right?
Yeah.
Is like 10 feet away.
Is 10 feet away, and with Syndra and James between you.
Okay. I guess we'll go ahead and flank this Fire Elemental with James. Is that possible?
Yep.
Cool. And I'm gonna attack him.
All right, let's see what you got.
Just think for a second.
Syndra has declared this is her friend, Flamey. He bites.
He bites.
As James
It really
clearly
be
felt.
flamey because it'd be very, very helpful.
I'm hitting the Flame Elemental.
Well, no, Rollman's killing that. Yeah, Syndra can do what they want on their turn.
Yeah. Alright, so we do a full attack.
Alright, let's see what you got.
That's 2 full blade swings and 2 Kama swings.
The Fire Elemental, shockingly, does not have a high AC, so this should be interesting.
Yes. So this is the first full blade one. Nice.
That
First
hits, yeah.
This is the second full blade one. 28 to hit.
Yeah. You have to roll a nat 1 to miss.
Oh.
I'm actually impressed, Jesus.
My Kama is a little.
Well, less. No, I got you. Go ahead and roll it as you wish. Yep, that hits.
That's not a crit because it's only a 20 on Kama's.
Oh, that sucks.
This other one, this will be slightly lower. 15 to hit.
Does not, sadly.
Okay, so 3 hits.
3
I will conduct them all down
strikes.
into 1 for you.
That works for me. Now, I assume you're not doing any cold damage. This is just your normal magical
Nope.
slashing.
This is all magical slashing damage.
Alright, cool. Making sure.
Mm-hmm.
As my vulnerability to cold would be a big help. Let's see what you got, though.
3. 6. Alright, I think that's everything.
Let's see what it is. Oh!
87 points of damage.
So minus 15 from that for the DR. Alright. As you slam into the creature, cutting and tearing, watching the bits of flame go everywhere as the creature seemed unable to regenerate its fire as quickly as chunks of it vanish, glimmering in the light as they make the snow melt. The creature seems to stay standing, completely unfazed and unbothered by your attacks. Though its arm now missing, the creature seems prepared to continue fighting.
Okay, and I will prepare myself to counterattack if I'm hit now. So now my AC is a little lower.
Okay.
I'm able to
Smack back.
to be backwards.
Okay.
Yeah, smack back.
All right, as Rollman ends his turn, James, my man, you're up.
Well, I'm gonna be casting defensively real quick.
Okay.
A first level spell. So it's a concentration check. Double check my concentration. Yeah, I put a good amount into this.
I hope so.
I had to double check, make sure I was on James' page, that they're not using the wrong sheet. I fail, so I lose the spell. Fuck.
All right.
Check.
Well, okay. I still don't like being this close to these things, and I don't want to get blasted. So, try again.
Wait, are you trying to dispel?
No, cast defensively, and this time I succeeded as I blast one of them with an orb of cold. It'll be the one that shoved me back this far.
Okay. All right, roll, and the 19 is to hit, or is that just for
No, that was to cast
success?
defensively.
Yeah,
which,
figured. Okay, I want to make sure. All right, roll. Let's see what you
See,
got. 13.
and the orb of cold misses.
Is that touch or is that normal AC?
Touch.
That's
That's
touch. That hits.
Oh, thank God.
On the Flame Brother, you hit by 1.
14 cold damage. Go away.
Right, as he takes. What's that? Okay. As the creature takes the cold damage like a champ, it coughs up a bit of fiery blood onto the ground as the creature glares at you, its mouth kind of glimmering with the flame of its own blood on its tongue. The creature seemingly unbothered as it's ready to continue fighting and biting at you.
That's the end of my turn. I was gonna do something cool and just make a path of ice around me that constantly dealt cold damage, but fucking dice said no.
Hey man, it happens. Alright. The first of the Flame Brothers is going to continue to try and stab at Rolliman as they do.
Okay, I'm easier to hit now.
Yeah, right. He wants you hard, man. He wants you hard. Not the poor phrasing, but 18, 7, that's a nat 1. I'll roll for 24 and 15.
The 24 hits.
No confirm. Okay. The 24 hits. Alright. You will take 3 points of piercing damage and
Okay.
3 points of fire.
Right.
As the
I have
creature's
fire
tail.
resistance 5, so.
Oh, well, so no fire. So the creature
Okay,
kind of
so-
nips at manages to cut you with its tongue like a paper cut.
My cloak hits back with 4 piercing damage,
Alright.
and then I'm gonna hit him.
I do not have, sadly, Dior on the poor creature.
Yeah, full blade.
Woo!
And hit.
Yep.
And like almost. These things have blood, right?
Yes.
I assume. Okay. 35.
35. I
That's a
don't
crit.
know.
Hold on. Let me
Yeah.
Let me
Combo's just rolling. See if you can confirm that.
It's something in 32.
That confirms. So yep, you get your double the
Alright.
dice or double the damage.
Double the damage on that.
All right.
That's-
Syndra put down Flamey.
I was trying to nip it rolling.
Accurate.
Cinder, quick, put a muzzle on Flamey. He needs it.
I'm fucking going. No, I'm gonna mantle of Icy Soul Flame. He's about to become frosty.
Okay, so
Oh,
this is the.
We're gonna
Double.
fucking
10
make an ice
points. Okay, for the
salamander.
double.
Oh wait. Oh, sorry. There's another d6 there. I forgot to add.
Oh.
My bad.
No worries.
So that's 28 damage for that,
Oof. Okay.
and then also this is the full blade damage.
All right. Let's see.
14.
Woo! As you turn and cleanly cut the head of the poor flame salamander's head clean off, seeing it landing a few feet behind it, as it warms and melts the snow as the body drops to the ground, leaking out a black like blood as it does that seems to give a slight scent of oil.
It's oily.
No, the money.
As Rolliman ends his response.
Yep.
The other flame salamander, not at all bothered by this, as it thinks it's the stronger male of the lot, is going to instead turn to James and attack him because James just smacked it. I have to nat 20 to hit James, I know that. So, like, any of the, I assume...
Ting, ting, ting,
Yeah,
ting, ting,
nope. As James kind of smacks away the tongue, now catching on these creatures are dangerous and not allowing the creature to stab out. It ends its turn. The Alvorleage salamander that was standing over by the water is going to run over and end its turn standing in the back line of the next to the noble salamander. as he kind of stares over at Syndra and James standing about 5 feet from them next to it. Ending his turn, the salamander that decided to flame sphere earlier is going to go ahead and... Well, he doesn't have a reason not to after it just got humiliated, so it's also going to summon another huge earth elemental right beside
Hell, immediate action, I'll
Rolaman.
try again.
Go ahead. Let's see as it spits out
I
a
only get
large,
2
bright,
today.
glowing rock.
Roll better.
See what you can do. You've got to be a 26.
I
Nope.
have to get a 26, so no, that was close, but...
Alright, as the
Good try.
creature summons once more. Let me double check. Alright, at
This is
194.
why I want to recraft my hammer so that it gets a plus 15 to those.
It will enter the initiative after its summoner, so there we go. Alright. And as the salamander can only move 20 feet, it's going to instead stay by the water and watch for a moment, ending its turn. As it does, the flame elemental is up as it pops up where the flame brother salamander that Rolaman just killed was. Immediately
it's
as
come
it
back.
stands, the fire elemental, looking like a huge flame salamander, begins to whack its large tail at you, and it only gets a single attack. As it's a fresh summon.
It's the soul of the salamander.
Wow,
It's
man,
That-
I can't roll for
that misses.
shit. With a plus 17 to hit, you'd think I'd get above a 3.
Yeah,
Alright.
you need to get a 23 today, so.
Oh, that hurts. Alright, it ends its turn. And as it does, Syndra, you are up.
What's the most enemies I can fit in a 20-foot radius?
All the ones surrounding pretty much your small little group. Which would be...
We're in that group.
1 noble, 3 flame brothers, and 2 huge fire elementals. Pretty much everything but the 2 salamanders that are still sitting by the pool.
But that would hit my party as well.
Yes, but you'd hit everything else.
I'd be fine, but I don't know about these two.
I can heal. Not that much, but...
Just roll him and get an opportunity attack against Syndra if she casts on him. Like,
It's melee attacks. So no.
Alright.
I
From a
think so. I will
top,
double check the
wait,
ruler.
from a top flamey, my great mouth.
We found Syndra's mouth. He's
I
gonna
was
be
gonna say,
frosty
you
soon.
could instead try to handle animal Flamey if you'd like to try and tame him.
You know what? You guys are doing fine. I want a friend. I have a high handle animal.
Let me double check my
I
intelligence.
would like to keep one of these.
Oh, sorry. It'd be I'll take handle animal or diplomacy since you're a druid.
Yeah. So more thing, it's for any attack roll within melee.
Got you. Okay.
So like if they did a save spell, I couldn't do anything. I also get a choice. I don't need to attack them.
You should though. You should always check Syndra
No,
when
yeah,
she
yeah.
Be
attacks
really
you.
funny.
No.
I cast a spell and you just stab me. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's the one time
Me.
it,
You hurt me.
4 crits in a row, and you're just like, okay, I get it now. Let's.
All right. We're up to a good start.
What'd you get?
25 diplomacy. Make it
25
friends.
diplomacy.
Okay.
And what do you say to the creature?
So what kind of summoners is this? The little one, the flame brother, or is this?
Yeah,
a
this
noble?
is the flame brother you're standing on. So it's
So
one
these
of
are the
these
bottom-
falls. Yep, they're the weakest small ones.
You know, if you join me, and we get rid of the others, could easily make you the leader. You'd be a noble. Wouldn't be at the bottom of the totem pole, kind of just like whispering poison into its ears.
You're
More
the
or
devil
less.
on its shoulder right now. Although you're on its back.
Yeah.
Literally the devil.
As
on
you
its shoulder.
lean down to whisper, the creature's eyes like dart side to side as it looks at Rollman, who's like battle crazed, covered in like salamander blood. Looks over at James, who's like going hand to hand, smacking away another's tongue. Looks over at the nobles that are like seemingly pushing on these smaller salamanders to get them out of the way. The creature just looks up at you and seems to give a nod.
That's good. We'll handle the rest.
The salamander kind of just lays back down into the snow.
Would you say that standard action, a full round?
I'd say that's a standard action. I think that'd be fair.
All right. So what's the most aim is on like one side? If I'm going like north, south, east, west.
Give me a moment. I'm just making a note.
Do that. Shoot James and Roman, because as I learned, my shots hurt.
Very much so. Your shots take half of my health.
I'll put a note captured by Syndra here. POV from the Salamanders. It was like a war right now. Yeah, right. This is D-Day. So how many
You can get
are?
another one.
So roughly around. If you go to the side or in front of James and behind Roloman for where he'd be facing right now, you can hit. In theory, just trying to doing a 20-foot, you could focus it on the fire elemental that is technically diagonal from Roloman, and it would hit the salamander between James and Roloman, and the other fire elemental to its side that Roloman just watched the salamander dive. Yeah. So that will not hit Roloman or James, just barely for a 20-foot radius, because of the the fact that the fire elementals are huge.
Hey guys.
Yep. Turns out when you are larger, you take up more space, so it makes it easier to focus AoE attacks on you.
Oh,
So
what a surprise.
I know, right? Width is not always great, so that'd be
Fire
roughly
elementals are
either
apt to
that,
stop
or you
existing.
can aim back at the huge salamander noble and its noble that is next to it, and the average salamander that are over there just sitting and chilling out. Or no, sorry, the average salamander moved up to you, so it'd only be those two. Is the two nobles.
I'll do the fire elemental side.
Okay.
There is no save, so I will just. Oh my god. And that 8 on the end from cold becomes 16, so that overall becomes 25.
25.
25.
With some rocks.
27. 27.
Got you. Perfect. Yeah, he's just throwing rocks at these creatures. These poor things don't deserve it.
It's big hail chunks start falling from around them and slamming them in the face.
Ice rocks.
Yeah, if you will. This is how you rock and roll
He
for
put
Syndra.
a rock in it.
God damn it. And then for the Flame Brother Summit, as the hail comes landing down left and right, slamming into the huge fire elementals as this storm kind of begins to congregate over it. Baseball-sized hail slamming into him and pouring through, causing holes into the creature's form as the elementals look unfazed by the fact, not really, caring whatsoever. What the salamander kind of looks up that's standing between James Roloman and kind of diagonal to Syndra, looking up at the sky as it does, and as a hail chunk comes and slams down on its head, crushing its skull completely as the body just drops to the ground, leaving it unfortunately dead. As the two fire elementals still lay standing at this point, as you look about, Roloman, it's only the two fire salamanders. James, similar to you, you only have one in front of you now, about 5 feet, and then the noble behind you. As well as the average that is slightly diagonal to you, as Syndra's spell finishes, or kind of completely finishes off. Is that in your turn, Syndra?
It does, and the hail will stop dropping at my next turn.
Okay. So they take
So that
damage
area.
on their turn
No,
then?
because it gives like listen checks and stuff.
Oh, okay. For the listen, yes. Okay, perfect.
For the next
So if we step into that area, nothing bad happens other than we can't hear.
you will take damage if you step in, and it'll get a lot harder.
Yeah. Nope.
Okay, I would not step in there then.
Alright. Ah, excuse me. Well, Flamey is captured by Syndra, so he's going to continue to lay on the snow, just kind of chilling there, as he enjoys the hot mud underneath
He's
him.
playing dead.
Well, actually, no. These guys were laying in hot mud, as you can kind of see on the ground, seeing it kind of bubbling in where they were laying.
Taking a nice mud bath.
Yeah. The noble
Mud
salamander
probably has healing properties.
over by the pond, seeing this is going badly, having used its fire elemental summon already, is going to go ahead and activate shoot out its flame sphere as well. And shoot it towards Roloman. Roloman, I need a reflex save.
Okie dokie. Alright. Aw, That one.
Ah, you failed, but your nat 1 would have succeeded, and that's so sad.
Yeah. That's why it's sad when it's a nat one, because,
Alright, don't worry, it's a lot of fire damage you're about to take as the fiery ball flaming sphere comes flying over towards you, taking 8 points of fire damage.
Take only 3, thankfully.
Yep. As let me guess, Sunday chat. I clicked the wrong chat. You can't help but wonder if these flaming spheres would be great if they were made into donuts. Go call back to
shot
Monday.
that does that.
Donut
right.
balls.
Right.
Donut holes, rather.
And as the creature hasn't moved, it's just gonna do it again. So give me another reflex save.
All right. I don't have another nat one in a row, right?
No way.
If you did, it'd be good. It happened now.
Oh my god.
Better now.
I'm glad it's saved and not something else.
At least that wasn't during an attack where you would have chopped off your own arm.
Yeah, right? There is 6 points of fire damage as the flame sphere slams into you again, Rollman, as you're focused on the 2 huge flaming salamanders that are trying to attack you. And once again, these salamanders proving that Tun truly was the greatest threat on Monday.
As I go to jump to get out of the way of the first fireball, my foot gets stuck in the mud and oh damn.
Did you feel
it again? I'm like, what the fuck?
The other foot the next
feel
time.
it smack into you as it scorches you slightly like a hot cookie smacking into your face. Now, it's not a pleasant feeling, but it's not the worst in the world. You've taken worse damage, Rollman, thankfully.
I look at the noble.
Over by the pool. Mm-hmm. As you look at him, glaring at him with your mercenary and your soldier's grimace to scare the creature off. All right.
Well, Ed, don't scare them away.
I didn't say I was making it.
It's why I didn't make him make a check. Yeah, that's
Also,
flavor
they
text.
won't run, Cameron. What I will do is they will fight to the death.
Oh yeah, these creatures aren't backing down. They think they're the strongest, and they're gonna fight you to prove it.
Well, we have one tamed, and he's gonna be a good buddy.
The huge salamander who is up is going to now go ahead and do the same thing the others did, or so you'd think. Instead, casting, and let me hear our favorite Maraca band song, Fireball.
Oh.
And
I have a different version of it.
That's fantastic. As the creature is going to be aiming for the center of you lot, I need a reflex save. If you have spell resistance, let me know now.
Alright, surely I don't roll a third that one. Oh, thank God. Okay.
Oh, well, you succeeded the DC. This time you needed to get a 2 to fail the DC, so,
Okay. I have a ring of evasion, so I take no damage from it.
Okay, perfect. James? Do you have spell resistance by chance?
No, but I
Hey,
rolled well.
I got a 19.
Okay, 20. That succeeds. 19 from Syndra. That also succeeds. So, James and Syndra, you will take half. However, I have very, very unfortunate news.
Big fireball?
As the fireball goes belching out, the 37 points of fire damage explodes across, and as none of the other creatures are bothered by it, they stand basking in the fire as it belches it out. However, it can only do that twice, as it looks on to you lot and begins to do it again, as it's going to belch again a large fireball. Please, once more, give me a reflex save. Also, for those who need half on that, that would be 19 points of damage. Fire damage.
1 higher.
Nice, Rollman. 20, 1 higher. Syndra, that's a success. All right. And Rollman, I assume you're going to do the same thing again?
Yeah, it's just a constant effect.
Oh, no.
James fails this time, taking the full damage. James, I'm sorry. And James, you don't have spell resistance, really? I thought you did.
No, I don't.
Oh, man.
To be fair,
Ooh,
even
my
low
goodness.
like a cast level 12 effect.
That's fair. That's fair.
Good.
All right. As the fire engulfs the area again, expanding out as it belches its last fiery ball out of its mouth, the huge salamander gives a loud laughing noise as it gutturally kind of makes almost a croaking sound from it as it looks on at you. And so James kind of coughs out a bit of black smoke, putting out his
From
eyebrows.
all of that, I took 15 damage.
From all of that, I took 51 damage.
James
Yeah,
is
that-
not
that's
feeling
fine,
great. And Rollman just hasn't been bothered by the fire. In fact, his boots are a little scorched, which he's annoying, a little annoying, but we all know it.
Yeah, that was from the two fire. The two.
Yeah,
fire.
I haven't
Yeah,
made
more
my
than the
new
flame sphere.
gear yet, which was gonna have fire resistance. I was gonna build it up with a bunch of different
Oh,
parts.
Cameron, if I didn't have these gauntlets, I'd be close to death because I'm weak to fire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
As it ends its turn, and the fire elemental is up, and it is going to take its swing at Rolaman because Rolaman has shown to be a scary bastard and is closest to hit. So, and as it gets 2 attacks this time, say it with me now. Critical! Nah, fuck. Almost. Wait, do I crit on a 19? No, I don't. Damn.
Both of them hit.
Okay. You'll get your 2 things, so I'll roll them at one at a time to make it fair, because you could kill.
Could I kill it with the first one?
Potentially. So you'll
I
take.
wave
What's up?
fire element.
You
Wave
wave.
goodbye to the elements.
His paw comes slamming down. The very loving music begins as you or as you hear the church music play as Cinder waves. I'm not done yet, by the way. That is the 13.
That's the cloak.
Oh, okay. That's 13 for the bludgeoning, and I need to double check. Okay, so that is after. All right, cool. I will need a save from you after this real quick before you start. 13.
Sure.
Fire damage.
Fire damage. Okay.
And then I need a reflex save before you begin returning, because if you fail this, you can't do anything but take a move action.
Ooh. Okay. What
Because
was
this
it
is
on?
called burn. And it's a reflex.
Reflex. Okay.
Yep. And I'll need technically I'll need 2 of those. So that's the first one, 19. Okay. All right. So for the first one, you fail. Roll them in.
Really?
You are burning officially. The flame
What's
burns for 1d4 rounds. I'll let you know. I'm just gonna roll this real quick. So that's 2 rounds. The save DC varies on the elemental side. Saves DC of 22. A burning creature can take a move action to put out the flame. The save DC is Constitution based. Let me double check.
It says you can take a move action.
Oh, my apologies. Yes, never mind. So the burning effect. Okay, yes, no, you're right. So yes, you're good to roll then.
Okay,
Alright.
cool.
Yep, and then I'll have a second attack after you do your
Okay.
return.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Let's do your first response back though.
Yeah.
32. 32 hits.
And 26 hit.
Both those hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Fortunately, I can't heal off these guys because they don't have blood.
Nope. But you might actually be able to kill me with how much damage you do, so that's why I was like, you know what? Let's take this one hit at a time. Alright, let's see. As the 2 start duking it out.
Look, I didn't ask to have PK fire shot at me, Royce. Could you not do it again?
You know, it's funny. The other noble sitting by the pond can do the same thing. He just doesn't have as high of a caster level. He has 1 less. 50s. Holy shit! Oh!
That is 2 attacks for your damage reduction, though.
Yeah, I know. That still hurts, though. That's only minus
Yeah,
10.
for sure.
Because, phew. Alright.
Gotchis.
So, minus that. Okay. As the fire elemental loses its other arm and is just going to start headbutting you, because I am very bloodied. Ooh. I already did hit, so I will roll damage. For it, and then you can do your attack back.
Yeah.
So this is the
Look, at
bludgeoning.
least we'll get a fire elemental core out of this.
You'll get multiple. And then this will be just the flame, or the fire, which is 9. Which I think I still don't overcome your fire.
Yeah, I only have fire resistance 5.
Oh, I do.
So,
Okay.
yeah. All right,
As the thing headbutts you in the face, igniting your head and your hair on fire as you go to swing back.
like this.
I'm gonna borrow your clothes at one point.
Oh!
And find them with hellhound.
Roll to confirm. Nice nat 1.
You lucky.
You know, it's funny, that would have
Oh,
still
you're
hit.
so lucky.
Oh my god.
I went for my nat 20. Are you all?
Alright, so no damage, no issue, but roll in the other one. 24
Oh,
hits.
that's a 19. Are you kidding me?
That hits? Oh my god.
That's so lucky. Yeah, it might as well die.
Cinder's over here lying. All right, let's see. Oh, and minimal damage too. 14.
Yeah,
All
way
right.
more damage.
Let me
That's the
see.
damage.
With that's only 4, or that is only going to be 9 points of damage. Whew, hanging on by a hair. This
My cloak
elemental.
actually do damage to you?
Can your cloak do
I didn't know
damage?
that. It's a D4 plus 3.
Yes, you can. You do not this
That
time
one does
though.
not.
Damn.
Yeah, that needs DR, sadly. Alright, as it ends its turn, though, thankfully we're back up at the top of the initiative as Rolaman, looking at this creature, your hair slightly caught with embers as your forehead still has a smoldering mark on it. As you look at it, blade ready, what are you doing?
Alright, and I'm burning, so what does that mean?
Yes. Oh, that does remind me. So, let me see. Let me double check for my note. A fire elemental plus fire. Those hit by this must succeed or catch fire. The flame birds. I think... I'm just saying, well, it doesn't tell me here. Let me make sure real quick if it's a combat modifier for burning. Alright.
I think it's just like doing constant fire damage.
Yeah, I assume so. I think it is. I think that's what they imply to it. Because it looks like it does 2d8 fire every turn. Yeah, similar to its own fire. So I'd assume that. Yep.
Oh, that's annoying.
It is constitution based, so you can try to save.
No, I have to use the move action.
Yep. Yep. Oh, yes, my apologies. Yes, you are right. Yes. Okay, yep. I'm sorry, I'm looking at multiple things trying to find the note for burning. Okay.
You're good. Alright, so I've got, which fire elemental looks like it's about to die?
The one that just smacked you last looks the most injured.
Okay, and that's the one I'm flanking with James still?
Correct. Yes.
Alright, I'll do one by one just in case I kill it.
Alright, probably a good idea, because you can outdamage me.
Yes, alright. Guys, I forgot to add flanking bonus.
It's alright.
Doing that.
That +2 will come in handy. There's that 25 to hit, yep.
Okay. I'll do the damage on that real quick.
As Rollman turns and lops the creature's head clean off, watching as the body drops and the crystal loses its flame.
Okay. And use those attacks on the other fire elemental.
Yep. There we go. Also, I will say immediately the fire goes out upon you.
Oh, sick.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
Yep. Fun side effect.
Are you kidding me?
There's that nat 1. This salamander, this flame elemental does not want to be hit. Roll to confirm. Did not confirm. Thankfully, as the Kamos turns to swing and misses. As Rollman purees and does a full swing, but instead spins rapidly on the snowy and ice. What's the 32? The 32 hits. 19 meets, so that does hit.
Ooh, all right. Those are both the.
Okay. Let's see what you got. As Rollman kind of recovers it, using the momentum to let his blade catch on the creature.
Mm-hmm.
He is the battle dancer that you always wanted.
Yeah. 34 points of damage.
Alright, and that's from 2 attacks, correct?
Yes, that is 2 attacks.
So that'll be 24 points as the creature takes a good bashing. But looks to be unbothered as you cut away, causing large slashes to kind of pull through and then reform, similar to the holes caused from the hail all around the creature.
Okay.
All right.
And I think that'll be it.
Okay, James, my man, with one.
I have one of these potions left. I've been keeping track as I chug it immediately.
I don't even have to describe it. James knows what he's ready to do. All right, James, what potion are you chugging?
This is the last moderate cure wounds that James has.
Oh, fair enough. You know, who says those health potions don't come in handy when you have a cleric? It's still good healing. Truly.
I'm using the healing potions.
I know, right?
Well, okay. James is back up to a portion of his health.
James gonna take up alchemy after this just to make his own moonshine, like strength health potions over here.
I'm gonna start distilling down the fucking potion cream potions, make them more concentrated.
Right. Oh man.
Suffer.
But as you kind of pop the cap on the vial and down it really quickly, looking about the creature as you wipe your mouth and put the cap back in and putting the vial away, what would you like to do?
I don't want to get hit, but I also don't think I can avoid.
You have a noble salamander right behind, like literally within 5 feet. You have an average salamander that's diagonal to you, and you have a huge fire elemental that is within 5 feet of us, or within 10 feet of striking distance of you. James, you're gonna get hit if you're a target.
Yeah, the best I could do is Shield of Faith myself to guard, but that's not gonna do shit against Fireball.
It's true. Da-da-da-da-da.
Fucking goddamn you. I also don't have that because that's not. Oh fuck. Well, Rollman,
Yes.
get ready. I have to make sure I can cast this.
He's gonna buff you again.
Now you buff me.
No. Fuck, I lose the spell. And that's the end of my turn.
What were you trying to cast?
You're concentrating too hard.
James, what were you...
I was gonna have you go again.
Oh, okay.
I see.
As James's hand begin to glow, as he says a chant, his holy symbol underneath his heavy plate and beginning to glimmer as it shines underneath as he powers magic through it. And as James begins to kind of say the words, the fire elemental kind of swipes near his head, and as he feels his eyebrow catch fire again, immediately his eyes open, expecting a fireball as he loses track of the spell. Ending his turn. Alright, well those two are dead. The average salamander is looking at Syndra and is going to take a bite out of Syndra's ass. I am doing a cold shot to Syndra's ass. So, it will be a +5 to your AC, Syndra.
I hope you can roll really high.
I get 3 attacks with this guy per turn. I got a chance.
You got it.
Alright. Oh, shit. Well, that's a 29 as the highest and a nat 1. Let me confirm the nat 1.
So, with a cold shot, my AC is a 31.
Oh my god, almost. Alright, we're gonna try this again, as he's going to do it again.
He really wants your ass.
It does.
He has to crit to get it.
It does.
And he did.
No, he did not. As the creature goes stabbing at you, trying to bite down and trying to tear at your backside as the creature jumping as you manage to jump out of the way, smacking the creature with a snowball from your hand that seems to just form as the creature glares at you, returning back to its spot as it looks about, chomping at the bit.
As it misses, the creature learns. My last 2 weeks of downtime were spent on skill-focused balance.
God damn it. Alright, as that being the case, the noble salamander, who is up? He is next to James, my man, and he is going to take his bite out of James. Oh, these guys get 3 attacks too. Cool. So, James, I'm going to make it easy for both of us, because I know you don't have enough health for me to take you down in one go. But I know...
have a bad AC.
Oh, actually, I can't roll all of them together, because I have different modifiers for this creature. Oh, that sucks. Alright. So, for the first one, James, 27 to hit.
That will hit.
Alright, for the second... 24.
That misses.
Alright, and for the third... 31.
That will hit.
Wow. Alright, so I'll do the damage for its first round of attacks.
That is a 4-round attack.
Uh-huh.
That takes the 4 round to do.
No, sorry, that is not a full round attack. It does... Oh, yes, that is its full round. My apologies. Yes, you are correct. Where was I? You're throwing me off here every time you do that, goddammit.
My bad.
There we go. Alright. So 2d8 plus 9, and just to double check something, That was an 18. Oh, I was one off from critting.
So close.
Yeah. Alright, so this will be for the bludgeoning, James, my man. And this will be for the fire. As
James
you
is
take...
down.
Oh,
Wow,
as
really?
James gets chomped into by the creature and it tears a chunk out of his side, James screams in pain as he drops to the ground, completely unconscious.
Yeah, I was at 35. I was barely up from the physical damage from my reduction.
Whew! James needs some HP boosters, but unfortunately that does end that Salamander's turn. As Roland pointed out, yes, that is a full round attack. I noticed afterwards it gets 3 tail slaps at the same thing. That's the benefit to it. Which, alright, well, oh well. But, as that being the case, as James screams in pain, dropping to the ground, alerting Syndra and Rolliman immediately as he drops, a piece of James's body completely torn off and in the creature's mouth as it swallows it down, licking about as it hungrily licks its lip and licks away the blood. As you look away, though, with no time to spare, the fire elemental that had been dueling with Rolliman begins striking once again at Rolliman, trying to swing.
Alright.
Let's see if I have any better luck this time. Oh shit. Well, that's a 22 and a nat 20.
22 misses, but yeah, that 20, let's see if you confirm.
That's a 14 plus 17. That it confirms. Alright. So, well, hey, cool. It's like I did 2 attacks.
Yeah.
Alright. 4d8 plus 8. So this will be for 26 points of damage, bludgeoning, and then 4d8. 13 points of fire, and then I need a reflex save.
Okay, give me a second. And a reflex save. Gotcha.
Yep. As the creature slams its fiery palm down onto your face, hitting you hard as the fire burns accordingly. 31, easily succeeding as you wipe away the flames quickly, knowing and expecting what the creature as you shout at it. Alright.
Always remember you have 10 of those fucking moderate healing potions.
I've used some of those, but yes, I'm aware I have healing potions. I have not needed them yet. Do not worry.
Yeah, just you do, as he clearly
AP.
sees. Maybe he may need to give them to you in the future.
Yeah.
Alright, roll them in. 5 damage, or 5? Oh, is that 5 to hit?
That's the cloak, so I assume it doesn't do any damage because it's damage reduction.
Correct, 5 DR, yep.
Yeah, it's that. 24 to hit.
Hits?
And then the other one. I lost my flanking bonus. No, it's not even on this one.
You did, because of James going down.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
For a nat crit, nice. Rollman is taking a vengeance and not letting these creatures do what they want. 35, that still hits, so it doesn't crit, but damn. You do, yeah, oh fuck.
Alright, sadly that's the Kamos.
That's fair.
So it's less damage. I'll do that one.
Okay. Whew.
Okay, so this doubled, so 34 points of damage.
Okay.
And then this will be the full blade. $29 for the full blade.
29, and that's to hit, or is that damage, to make sure?
That's damage.
Okay, making sure, perfect. With the damage reduction... Alright, the creature is still up and seems unaffected as you continue slashing into it. The body seemingly reforming and the creature continuing its fight as it seems ready to go. Alright. I assumed, is that it? Oh, that's, yeah, because that's, well, it did 2 attacks against you. Do you only get when it succeeds, or do you get when it attacks, to make clear?
When it succeeds.
Okay, so only the ones. Okay, cool. Making sure. Cool. As the huge elemental ends its turn, Syndra, as you hear James's fuck shouted out as he passes out, his last words to write on his tombstone, you realize 2 things. 1, James is really shit at dying, and 2, you really need to teach him to come up with some better last words.
Yeah. Was it a real salamander that bit him and then backed off?
Yeah, it's the noble salamander, yeah. That's standing next to him. The one that followed you over.
Awesome. Does a 26 hit its touch AC?
Yes. I don't have to double check that. Yeah, no, it does. It hits its AC. Jesus
Shocked it
Christ.
didn't.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna see the wrath of Syndra. I'm kind of angry.
Syndra doesn't like anyone beating on her nephew.
Oh fuck!
Holy shit! What are you casting?
This is Polar Ray.
Oh, okay. Is this the one? Oh, this is
Yeah.
the ray. Okay.
Well, that was double dice because it's cold on a fire creature.
Yeah. Oh,
So it's
gotcha.
That's why it's so high.
Got you. So with minus 5, that's 104, which makes a difference as the creature immediately freezes solid and its elemental disappears as the gemstone drops to the ground, watching the elemental vanish.
Oh man, I almost killed
One
it.
more left. Get him.
There's no more elementals. There's only the average that's still standing in front of Syndra and the two nobles by the pool. As Syndra freezes this creature solid, anger in her eyes, a ray of ice just blasting out and solidifying the creature as a sculpture.
As I shove a fucking bottle in James's mouth, fucking get up.
Like lean down
That's
and
right, Will.
feed James a cure light or cure moderate, I assume.
It's moderate.
Okay, let's see what you can give him.
Yeah.
It's 2d8 plus 8 for those ones, because those were the ones we got from the bulk buy.
No, I got mine from somewhere else. I hate to tell you.
Oh, okay.
You guys own
They heal
fire, I
a little.
guess.
They heal a little less.
17 points. All right, James, as you taste the familiar flavor of cherry, looking up and seeing Syndra's anger on her face, looking over to see the frozen salamander completely an ice cube. It doesn't take much to put two and two together, as the average salamander standing there kind of looks a little more worried and intimidated. All right.
Look at Syndra. Thank you.
Yeah, I can't do that again.
As you say that, ending your turn, I assume, Syndra?
Yeah.
Perfect.
I think that was a pretty good.
All right. The noble is up. As he goes over by the pool, he has not belched his fireballs yet.
James, you're going back down.
James!
Hey, it's better that he gets up and goes down. It doesn't take some auto-failed save.
It's true.
No, I agree.
What's the minus for being prone to dex? I gotta go check.
I can let you know that. Prone is -4. Alright. I need a reflex save from all three of you once more, twice, please, because I'm going to be shooting both fireballs. That
I'm
is
down.
a fail on the first. Well, I could roll badly
maybe
for
we'll roll
damage.
bad damage for its 10d6.
No, 96. This is the smaller one.
Oh, 96.
Yeah, he's the large of the two. The huge one had a higher hit die. Yeah, so it'll be 18d6, which I know James isn't looking forward to. Hey, James, you still failed.
Damn.
Actually, no, you succeeded, James. So you'll mean half. Syndra succeeds on both. Rollman succeeds on both. Cool. So Rollman will take no damage. Syndra will take half, and James will take 3/4.
This whole fight is just bully James. That's all.
When did I become Melvin?
Wasn't my.
That was not here.
Me and Rollman are doing flips and shit. We're like dodging attacks. He's just getting shot over and over
I
and
even
over.
built an item to make my reflex better.
Fire resistance.
Doesn't
Oh,
help that you're
nice. 69 damage.
Let me just do the quick math here. 69 times 0.75.
You'll take 52 points of damage.
Yeah, I'm down.
No, James, as he looks up, seeing the fireballs coming down, just glares at them and just. And as they boom, immediately burning as Syndra looks down and sees
Syndra, you
James.
I took 6 damage. Ow.
You took 6 damage?
I will say, James, I have a question.
I am not taking any fucking deals.
No.
Oh.
So was 35 points more? It was more than you healed, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You will. So you do have an auto fail. Okay, cool. So you have one auto fail from the second fireball landing.
Yeah.
That's all I was doing. No, I
got by
know.
the first
I
round.
know you've said you aren't open to any deals, and nothing's reaching out to you right now. As you drop
Oh, shit.
down.
God damn it.
As the creature ends its turn, the huge salamander gives out a guttural laugh as it continues to enjoy its amazing show, and is going to cast Flaming Sphere and going to go send it after Rollerman.
Alright, let me alone.
Well, Rollerman, I need 2 reflex saves as it's just going to move this
Alright.
thing around. However, this is the last time I can cast this with this thing as well.
21.
Sindra does not like this fat salamander.
No.
27 succeeds. All right, and for the
And the
sec-
21 is the other one.
Oh, the 21 also succeeds, so you'll take half of this.
0.
Or no, you'll take no damage. My apologies. Never mind. As the flaming sphere goes under you, kind of expecting it this time as you do a wicked backflip, jumping over and then jumping again as the thing comes back
Did
and
you see
forth.
that? Oh wait.
You know,
Order on the ground.
the huge noble salamander ends his turn. As we go back to the top of the initiative, Rollerman, you're up.
I just sigh and what is near me? It was a medium and then 2 nobles, right? Is what
There is there's an average that stands in front of Syndra that is about 10 feet from you, but you'd have to go around Syndra. And then about 35 feet in front of you are the 2 noble salamanders that have been laughing and sitting back the entire time.
Cinder, can you handle the ones near the water? I can't get near those.
I will turn it into an ice cube.
Okay, understood. I'm still next to James, right?
Yes.
Cool. I will pop out a potion and feed him a nice potion of healing. And get him back up.
And then a 4th noble
more
salamander come in and fireball James again. And James just accepted that he wasn't doing anything.
This is 2d8 plus 8.
I whisper to James, you asked what it was like to be Melvin.
You get 16 healing.
James comes back to it and hears the first words as his friend. Not, hey, we're happy to see you. Hey, how are you doing? It's, you wondered what it was like to be Melvin. And as you hear this, James looking up and seeing Syndra looking over at the noble salamanders.
Was that an action to do that?
That would be an action to feed him a potion, yes.
Cool. All right. Can I get to the medium with a 5-foot step?
Or the average? Yes.
Cool.
Technically.
5-foot step.
Yeah, you just take a 5-foot step to the side, or diagonal, and be on the side of,
Cool.
Syndra.
Nice.
So,
and I'll hit him.
Alright, let's see what you got. Let's see what you can do.
I'll hit it with my comma because I want to heal.
This fireball starting to hurt a little bit. Oh, well, you haven't taken any damage from the fireball.
I
It's
took damage from getting
the
beat up by a
elementals.
crit from an elemental.
Yeah, understandable. A little scorched, a little burnt.
20.
I want to hear a little scorched, a little burnt right now.
Did the 20 hit?
20 doesn't, sorry.
It doesn't or does?
It does, yeah, you hit.
Okay.
You hit. Sorry, that caught me off guard. He made... Alright.
Alright.
4 fucking
17.
fireballs.
Oh my god.
17 damage.
17 damage.
And I heal
Alright.
4.
Oof. That's not the best, but it's not terrible.
Better than 0.
That's
And
true.
that is my turn.
Alright. As you slash at the creature with your commas, cutting at the creature as you do, the salamander seemingly taking the hits. Surprise is the suddenly fast blade of yours as he was expecting Syndra to attack it once again. The creature kind of caught off guard, losing a couple of toes as it tries to stand up on its legs to intimidate you. And it begins to realize what is going on as the creature plans its next move. All right. As the toes go flying, and Rolliman looks on with happiness as the blood that lands on him causes him to glow slightly, healing some of his cuts as he stands smiling. James, laying on the ground, covered in smoke.
Half my movement. Get up.
As you stand up, kind of wiping some of the charredness off yourself in the snow.
Using spell to heal. No one's in melee with me. I can do this.
Correct.
For 13 more.
As you kind of pat yourself down and begin chanting as the spell or as the healing magic takes a hold, feeling your body or the wounds close on your body and the charred marks kind of vanishing.
The next one that fireballs me, I'm gonna be very upset with, and I'm turning you into a hat.
James looks at the three salamanders. One that seems completely caught on the defense of Rolliman. The other two that are making guttural laughing noises like Jabba the Hutt.
I can't do anything else because I used my movement to stand up.
It's alright. The average salamander is up, and it's going to take its bite, and whether it's a tongue spear attack against Rolliman, getting 2 of them as a full round action. Alright.
That's a mistake, good sir.
Well, maybe. Because I got a good hit. Oh, that's a 29 to hit.
That definitely hits.
And then we'll just roll for the
Which other
second. I'm just curious if I will. 12.
Nope.
Okay. So, the first one will go through, and is, do I crit? No, okay. You will take 9 points of piercing plus
Okay.
5 points of fire damage as the creature catches you spearing at your armor with its tongue as the fire does nothing to you, almost closing the wound as it pulls away. Hey, it solders your wounds for you.
Yeah, I say thank you very much. And then the cloak hits him for 4 damage. I'm rolling bad on that.
You try.
For
One day that cloak will actually do damage to a salamander.
yes, one day. That day is not today, though.
That's true. 30.
That's starting to crit.
Yeah, that hits.
Let me roll.
Let's see if you crit. Ooh, please, no. Hold up. Hold up with your fancy swordsmanship. Yeah, that hits.
Yep.
Oh,
right.
fuck.
Let me just roll that, because it might just die.
Yep. I have a lot of HP, but you can do triple digits. So if you roll right, I'm a little worried here.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Grumpy's learning the way of the nuclear sword.
66 points of damage.
I am alive as Rollman swings the blade, hitting hard as a leg of the creature goes flying, tumbling to the ground a few yards back. That hits. The creature's shocked look in its eyes. It's the blood coming out of its arm, kind of drenching all over Syndra as it waves it about.
Alright, and then 21 points of damage.
As you cleanly cut through its head, the second round, as the blade comes back, as the hand goes flying off to the ground about 5 feet away, as the oily blood continues to pump out of it.
Nice.
Alright, well, that ends its turn. They're all dead, so Syndra, you're up.
We got 2 friends left.
You got 2 laughing noble salamanders that have suddenly shut up as they just saw the last salamander drop, standing over by the pool of divine water.
They're both over there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you already froze the noble, so... Oh, no, what? Oh, God.
Yeah, I can get 3. Yeah. Yeah.
Reflex. Okay, let's see. What is this spell by chance?
Oh, I'm. It's kind of cold. I'm done with you.
Oh, okay.
Decided not to save those protocols.
I saved it until James died twice in a row.
28 and 12 for
Ooh.
the 2 reflexes.
Let's see. DC is 18 plus 9. DC is 27.
Oh,
You got one.
so the normal one succeeds while the huge one, shockingly, it fails. As he does not move and takes it like a champ, thinking that this is your way of breathing at him.
Well, it kind of is.
Yeah, it's your response
Let's
back.
see.
Oh!
So, The one that succeeded takes that in full because it halves and then redoubles back to normal, and the other one takes 134.
He's still up. Both of them are still up, though they are both slightly frosty. You said 144, correct?
134.
134.
Okay, thank you. Making sure I heard that right. Both are up, but as the ice kind of shoots out from your hand, expanding out like a blizzard, freezing the ground around as it seems to make the snow glimmer like ice. The two creatures find themselves seemingly shocked as they stand up on their back hind legs, billowing out their chest as they breathe out fire to the air. As the smaller one loses its arms and belly begins to kind of freeze solid, the larger one, or the huge one, seems to stand up almost happily as its arms as it slams its body weight back down, and its hands and arms completely shatter on its weight. But it is still willing to fight as the creature pushes itself forward on its hind legs.
So as I start to charge a second one...
Oh no. 2 more reflex saves?
No, I say you have one fucking chance. Kneel, worm.
Damn.
Ooh, roll an intimidation check.
Any bonuses for all the damage I just dealt?
I'm noting it for the DC, don't worry.
Let me just hold on.
We're getting a picture of a dice, everybody. It's being telegraphed.
You're absolutely getting a picture of
Oh my god, nat 20. As you do, let me do something.
That's a 26 if it matters. After.
No, yeah, I got you.
Yeah, it's a...
Okay. The normal of the two nobles kind of seems to lay its head down slightly, but the huge one seems to gutturally growl and let out a grunt of challenge as the creature refuses to back down. It snuffs at the ground as air comes out of its nostrils, and it seems to ready itself for a charge at you with its tongue out.
I'll nod, and the second blast will only hit that one.
Alright, I'll make a reflex save.
Yeah.
Roll a
22!
No.
I know.
Sorry, man.
I think if you roll minimum damage, I'm dead, but let's see what you got. Woo! As the frost comes out, how would you like to finish this, Syndra?
We need
So
the parts.
it really likes spitting fireballs. I want to shoot the cold, specifically the focused part, down its own fucking throat to go in reverse.
As it opens its mouth, snarling at you, you quickly shoot the cone of cold as fast as possible, seeing it launch out as the creature's mouth freezes open solid, as a fire inside seems to immediately extinguish as the body freezes fully in its stance as if it was ready to breathe down on you as you watch the creature slowly die inside the ice. And thus ends combat. As
We now have 2 pet salamanders.
The noble salamander and the flame brother both seem to kind of cuddle up next to you. Immediately, the noble salamander that had lost its front arms and its belly seems to begin to heal as it walks over towards you.
As I readjust my armor, I'm like, so anyway, what's next, guys?
We should probably stuff the bodies into the chest of preserving it, if that huge one will fit. Ow.
James kind of checking his burn marks all across his body as he pokes to see if it's a bruise or a burn.
I don't know, Rollman. You try taking 4 fireballs directly to the head and body and everything.
Well,
I looked down at myself. I kind of did. I look at my gauntlets.
Rollman and Syndra, as you both look over, James's head, his hair is completely gone. He is completely scorched bald. Yep. Your beard's fine. Your head is scorched bald.
James, you don't look that bad without any.
Honestly, it could work.
I'm just gonna start putting the bodies into the chest of preserving. We can process them back on the ship.
Oh, for the bigger ones, though, we can't really move easily. I wanted to bring the sick crew here anyway for the healing properties. We could have them heal and then process after, or just have this healthy ones process while they,
That would actually probably be better. we should see if that up there is empty.
As you start
Alright.
gathering up the bodies and start pushing them into the chest. What's the weight limit for the chest of preserving, out of
I'm
curiosity?
double checking it real
Okay.
quick because it might have been 7,000 pounds. Because this was the
It
chest that had
was-
all the breadfruit
was-
in.
It was
This was the one
7,000.
that had 7,000 pounds of breadfruit in it. This was the big one.
Okay, let me double check for the salamander weight. While it happens, Rollman, you were going to say something. Go ahead.
Yeah. Is the hunting cabin approachable by avoiding the water, or is it kind of like a moat surrounding it?
There is 4 paths that seem to be broken up in the different cardinal directions as you kind of look over towards it.
Okay. Does it seem like I could traverse those without having my items break?
Oh, easily. I mean, it's about a 10-foot wide path and seems to be pretty stable. Like they're designed to be walked up.
Okay. No issues there. Yeah, I say, James, are you good to continue, or should we
Give me
heal?
another one of your potions.
Damn.
I'm gonna-
What's the magic
I'm gonna warn-
words?
I'm gonna warn
Please.
if we today. I can't do any of my big effects anymore. I used them all.
Could head back and if we get all the bodies in the chest and just.
Because I want to point out, we don't have to do anything with the lodge for our quest. We can just leave.
Yeah, we have those. We have 5 bodies and 2 live ones.
Because honestly, do we care that
Yeah.
someone's leading flame salamanders here? I kind of appreciate that they did.
I mean, we can warn about it.
Yeah, just tell the town about it. It's not a big deal.
Well,
that way
I have
take
good
another-
news.
That's
The amount of weight of meat from these creatures, at max, is about 1,000 pounds. So that's including the huge one, by the way.
Really?
So yeah, it turns out
Skinny
salamanders surprisingly don't have a heavy carcass. So
Each
Mostly-
one before put
Mhm.
in, I'd like to freeze the wound so it's not hemorrhaging blood, so we have to collect that later.
okay.
That
As you lot begin to kind of gather them up, pushing them into the chest, James kind of grabbing the 2 elemental cores for the huge elementals, noting their size and shape and their clarity being very well designed. I mean, these things were definitely in the stomachs of these salamanders for years, probably, slowly cultivating and being smoothed out and being turned to look like this. It's gorgeous.
which means there's also a 3rd one still in the last noble that didn't throw one.
Correct. As you
That's
kind of
mine.
kind of finish up pulling the bodies in and doing this, it takes you about an hour to do so, of kind of dragging, cleaning up, and making sure to freeze the wounds to ensure the blood doesn't go anywhere. As you finally finish up the chest, thankfully no heavier than usual, James, as you kind of pick it up and kind of test it, putting it back onto your back.
Alright. Are you sure those 2 salamanders will be fine, Sidra?
I mean, why wouldn't they be?
I don't know.
As
You
I
wanna-
pet as a smaller one.
As you paying the smaller one that you were standing on before that seems to be following you around, the noble one seems to have kind of walked off over back to the water and seems to be drinking the water as its arm regrows from its body and its belly kind of unfreezes.
Oh, it seems that does have healing properties.
That's good. Come on. As I'll look at that one.
The creature will just turn. It'll laugh at you a few times, and take another gulp, and then turn and start walking towards Cinder as it waddles slowly, its head up proudly as it tries to show itself the size.
It seems Syndra is their leader, not you. Especially since
That's
they were the one
fine,
that made
so
you on
long
your
as
ass.
it listens to Syndra.
Yes, and after I get more of these salamanders and make a pack, they're gonna guard my new area for my druid grove. They're gonna guard.
That means, well, if you attend to this via Druid Grove, right, should we at least see if there's someone else here in that house? I'm not saying right now,
Tomorrow.
but tomorrow.
I mean, yeah. I just wanted, him to not be dying as I look at James.
The fair point.
As I did yoink one of the potions off of Rollman and drink it, because fucking
Okay.
death.
As you kind of slip that from Rollman's belt, kind of downing it really quickly as you lot start walking back towards the ship, I assume.
If I'd known that was going to be our only fight of the day, I would have probably used more of my equipment.
Rollman kind of looks about at the battlefield, kind of thinking about it, contemplating it. Are you guys heading back to the ship, or what's the plan?
Yeah, head back to the ship.
Yep.
Head back to the ship.
As you begin to head back to the ship, everyone give me a listen, or well, each of you give me a listen, spot, or search check, please.
I have spot.
I wonder what I'm gonna do.
10.
22.
22, 10, okay.
Man, that was it. I rolled that combat. I'm gonna count.
26. Listen.
26, okay. As James, you see nothing, being charred and burnt and still kind of trying to figure out what's bruised, what's skin, and what's, hurting. It's,
Debating on if a healing potion can heal hair growth.
yeah, feeling at the top of your head, contemplating if you can make a hair grow potion, thinking about the money you could make off it if you could figure it out. You're distracted. Your mind's somewhere else completely. Roland, as you search about, looking around, you are the second to catch it as you notice a glimmer of something in the trees themselves, the wood seemingly moving about as you catch the eye of what looks to be a large feline creature with orange and black striped fur. Syndra, as you begin to catch the sounds of the growling of the creatures, you notice there is 4 of these what sound to be heavy, large footprints coming about. You'd guess probably large to huge creatures. And by the sounds of the panting, they are hungry and very, very tired. As we end session there, we thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed, and we hope you all join us next time for when James explains to a living bear how he should not be eaten. Take care.